The Tragedy of Hamlet. By Shakespeare. Actus primus. Scena prima. Enter Bernardo and Francisco, two sentinels. Bernardo. Who's there? Fran. Nay, answer me, stand and unfold yourself. Bar. Long Leoa the king. Fran. Bernardo. Bar. He. Fran. You come most carefully upon your hour. Bar. 'Tis now strook 12, get thee to bed, Francisco. Fran. For this relief much thanks, 'tis bitter cold. And I am sick at heart. Barn. How you had quiet guard. Fran. Not a mouse stirring. Barn. Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the reuels of my watch, bid them make haste. Enter Horatio and Marcellus. Fran. I think I hear them. Stand, who's there? Hor, friends to this ground. March. And liege men to the Dane. Fran. Jew you good night. March. O farewell honest soldier, who hath relued you? Fra. Bernardo has my place, Jew you good night. Exit Fran. March. Holla Bernardo. Bar. Say, what is Horatio there? Hor. A piece of him. Bar. Welcome Horatio, welcome good Marcellus. March. What, has this thing appeared again tonight? Bar. I ha seen nothing. March. Horatio says, 'tis but our fantasy. And will not let belief take hold of him. Touching this dreaded sight, twice seen of verses. Therefore I ha entreated him along with verses, to watch the minutes of this night. That if again this apparition come, he may approach our eyes, and speak to it. Hor. Tush, tush, 'twill not appear. Bar. Sit down a while. And let verses once again assail your ears. That are so fortified against our story. What we two nights ha seen. Hor. Well, sit we down. And let verses hear Bernardo speak of this. Barn. Last night of all. When yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume that part of Hoenn, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself. The bell then beating one. March. Peace, break thee of. Enter the ghost. Look where it comes again. Barn. In the same figure, like the king that's dead. March. Thou art a shoaler, speak to it Horatio. Barn. Looks it not like the king? Mark it Horatio. Ora. Most like, it harrows me with fear and wonder. Barn. It would be spoke to. March. Question it Horatio. Hor. What art thou that serpst this time of night? Together with that fair and warlike for me, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march, by Hoenn I charge thee speak. March. It is offended. Barn. See, it stalks away. Hor, stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak. Exit the ghost. March, 'tis gone, and will not answer. Barn. How now Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on't? Hor. Before my God, I might not this below. Without the sensible and true watch of mine own eyes. March. Is it not like the king? Hor. As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armor he had on. When ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once, when in an angry parle he smote the sled poleaxe on the ice. 'Tis strange. March. Thus twice before, and eyest at this dead hour. With Martial stalk, hath he gone by our watch. Whore. In what particular thought to work, I know not. But in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. March. Good, now sit down, and tell me he that knows. Why this same strict and most observant watch? So nightly toilest the subject of the land. And why such daily cast of brazen cannon? And foreign mart for implements of war? Why such impress of shipwrights, whose sore tasky does not die wide the Sunday from the week? What might be toward that this sweaty hast doth make the night iant labor with the day? Who is that can inform me? Whore. That can I. At least the whisper goes so, our last king, whose image Ewan but now appeared to Versus, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway. Thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, darred to the comate, in which, our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit, with his life, all those his lands, which he stood seized on, to the conqueror, against the which, a moiety competent, was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras. Had he been vanquisher, as by the same coonant and carriage of the article design, his fell to Hamlet. Now sir, young Fortinbras, of nimproud metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway, here and there, sharked VP a list of landless resolutes, for food and diet, to some enterprise, that hath a stomach in't, which is no other. And it doth well appear to our state, but to recur of Versus by strong hand, and terms compulsatio, those foresaid lands, so by his father lost, and this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chaf head of this post hast, and roamage in the land. Enter ghost again. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay illusion. If thou hast any sound, or vse of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease, and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art priui to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may always, speak. Or, if thou hast VP hoarded in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which, they say, you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it. Stay, and speak. Stop it, Marcellus. March. Shall I strike at it with my partisan? Whore. Do, if it will not stand. Barn. 'Tis here. Whore, 'tis here. March, 'tis gone. Exit ghost. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the shoe of violence. For it is as the air, invulnerable. And our vain blows, malicious mockery. Barn. It was about to speak, when the cock crew. Whore. And then it started, like a guilty thing, upon a fearful summons. I ha heard. The cock that is the trumpet to the day, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea, or fire, in earth, or air, extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine, and of the truth herein this present object made probation. March. It faded on the crowing of the cock. Some says, that ewer, gainst that season comes, wherein our Sawyer's birch is celebrated. The bird of dawning singeth all night long. And then, they say, no spirit can walk abroad. The nights are wholesome, then no planet strike. No fairy talks, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed, and so gracious is the time. Whore. So ha I heard, and do in part below it. But Luke, the morn in russet mantle clad, walks o'er the dew of yon high eastern hill. Break we our watch vp, and by my advice, let verses impart what we ha seen tonight. To young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to verses, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it? As needful in our loos, fitting our duty. March. Let dude I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently. Exeunt. Scena secunda. Enter Claudius King of Denmark, Gertrude the Queen, Hamlet. Polonius. Laertes, and his sister Ophelia, Lord's attendant. King. Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it verses befitted, to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of our cellars. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, imperial iantress of this warlike state, ha we, as 'twere, with a defeated Ioe, with one auspicious, and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral, and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor ha we herein barred your better wise domes, which ha freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. Now follows, that you know young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjoint, and out of frame, colleagued with the dream of his adjuvantage. He hath not failed to pester verses with message, importing the surrender of those lands, lost by his father, with all bonds of law, to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Enter Voltmand and Cornelius. Now for ourself, and for this time of meeting. Thus much the business is. We ha here writ to Norway, Venkel of young Fortinbras, who impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gate herein. In that the lewies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subject, and we here dispatch you good Cornelius, and you Voltmand, for bearing of this greeting to old Norway, join to you no further personal power, to business with the king, more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your hast commend your duty. Volt. In that, and all things, will we shew our duty. King. We doubted nothing, heartily farewell. Exit Voltmand and Cornelius. And now Laertes, what's the news with you? You told verses of some sweet. What is Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane, and loose your voice. What wouldst thou beg Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more nashew to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth. Then is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou ha Laertes? Laer. Dread my lord, your low and forward to return to France, from whence, though willingly I came to Denmark, to shew my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious low and pardon. King. Ha you your father's low? What says Polonius? Paul. He hath my lord. I do beseech you do him low to go. King. Take thy fair hour Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now my cozen Hamlet, and my son Ham, a little more than kin, and less than kind. King. How is it that the clouds still hang on you? Ham. Not so, my lord, I am too much ith son. Queen. Good Hamlet, cast thy knightly colour off. And let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not for ewer with thy veiled lids. Seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st, 'tis common, all that lose must die. Passing through nature, to eternity. Ham. Ay, madam, it is common. Queen. If it be. Why seems it so particular with thee? Ham. Seems, madam. Nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother. Nor customary sweets of Selema black. Nor windy suspiration of forked breath. No, nor the fruitful rewer in the eye. Nor the dejected howure of the visage. Together with all forms, moods, shews of grief. That can denote me truly. These indeed see me. For they are actions that a man might play. But I haw that within, which posseth show. These, but the trappings, and the sweets of woe. King. 'Tis sweet and commendable. In your nature, Hamlet. To do these morning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the surveyor bound. In filial obligation. For some term. To do obsequious sorrow. But to pursue. In obstinate condolement, is a course. Of impious stubbornness. 'Tis venomly grief. It shews a will most incorrect to hoen. A heart fortified, a mind impatient. An understanding simple, and scold. For, what we know must be, and is as common. As any the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we in our peewish opposition take it to heart? Fie, 'tis a fault to hoen. A fault against the dead, a fault to nature. To reason most absurd, whose common the aim is death of fathers, and who still hath cried. From the first course, till he that died today. This must be so. We pray you throw to earth this prevailing woe, and think of versus. As of a father. For let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne. And with no less nobility of low. Than that which dearest father bears his son. Do I impart towards you. For your intent. In going back to Skoal in Wittenberg. It is most retrograde to our desire. And we beseech you, bend you to remain. Here in the cheer and comfort of our eye. Our chiefest courtier Cosin, and our son. Chew. Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pry thee stay with verses, go not to Wittenberg. Ham. I shall in all my best. Obey you, madam. King. Why, 'tis a luing, and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and forked accord of Hamlet. Sit smiling to my heart. In grace whereof. No iacon health that Denmark drinks today. But the great cannon to the clouds shall tell. And the king's rouse, the hoens shall brood again. Res peaking earthly thunder. Come away. Exeunt. Manet Hamlet. Ham. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt. Thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon gainst self-slaughter. O God, O God! How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the vices of this world. Fie on't. O fie, 'tis an weeded garden. That grows to seed, things rank, and gross in nature. Possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, that was to this. Hyperion to a satire, so luing to my mother. that he might not beteen the winds of Hoenn. Visit her face too roughly. Hoenn and earth. Must I remember, why she would hang on him? As if increase of appetite had grown. By what is fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on't, frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old. With which she followed my poor father's body. Like Niobe, all tears. Why she, you and she? O Hoenn! A beast that wants discourse of reason. Would Hall mourned longer, married with mine Venkel. My father's brother, but no more like my father. Then I to Hercules. Within a month. Ere yet the salt of most righteous tears had left the flushing of her gowled eyes. She married. O most wicked speed, to post. With such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. Enter Horatio, Barnardo, and Marcellus. Whore, highly to your lordship. Ham. I am glad to see you well. Horatio, or I do forget myself. Whore. The same my lord. And your poor Ceruant Ewer. Ham. Sir, my good friend. I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus. March. My good lord. Ham. I am very glad to see you, good Ewan, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg? Whore. A truant disposition, good my lord. Ham. I would not ha your enemy say so. Nor shall you do mine ear that violence. To make it truster of your own report. Against yourself. I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsineur? We'll teach you to drink deep, ere you depart. Whore. My lord, I came to see your father's funeral. Ham. I pray thee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. Whore. Indeed my lord, it followed hard upon. Ham. Thrift Horatio, the funeral backed meats. Did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in Hoenn. Ere I had ewer seen that day Horatio. My father, methinks I see my father. Whore. Oh where my lord? Ham. In my mind's eye, Horatio. Whore. I saw him once, he was a goodly king. Ham. He was a man, take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again. Whore. My lord, I think I saw him yesternight. Ham. Saw. Who? Whore. My lord, the king your father. Ham. The king my father. Whore, season your admiration for a while. With an attent ear, till I may allure. Upon the witness of these gentlemen. This Maruel to you. Ham. For Hoenn's lo let me hear. Whore. 2 nights together, had these gentlemen. Marcellus and Barnardo, on their watch. In the dead wast and middle of the night. Being thus encountered. A figure like your father. Armed at all points exactly, Kappa Pe. Appears before them, and with solemn march. Goes slow and stately, by them thrice he walked. By their oppressed and fear surprised eyes. Within his truncheon's length. Whilst they bestilled. Almost to yelly with the act of fear. Stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me. In dreadful secrecy impart they did. And I with them the 3rd night kept the watch. Whereas they had deliured both in time. For me of the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like. Ham. But where was this? March. My lord upon the platform where we watched. Ham. Did you not speak to it? Whore. My lord, I did. But answer made it none, yet once methought. It lifted VP at head, and did address itself to motion, like as it would speak. But ewen then, the morning cock crew lowed. And at the sound it shrunk and hast away. And vanished from our sight. Ham. 'Tis very strange. Whore. As I dole yo my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it. Ham. Indeed, indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight? Both. We do, my lord. Ham. Armed, say you? Both. Armed, my lord. Ham. From top to toe? Both. My lord, from head to foot. Ham. Then saw you not his face? Whore. Oh yes, my lord, he wore his bower VP. Ham. What, looked he frowningly? Whore. A countenance more in sorrow than in anger. Ham. Pale, or red? Whore, nay, very pale. Ham. And fixed his eyes upon you? Whore. Most constantly. Ham. I would I had been there. Whore. It would ha much amazed you. Ham. Very like, stayed it long. Whore. While one with moderate hast might tell 100. All. Longer. Whore. Not when I sought. Ham. His beard was grisly. No. Whore. It was, as I ha seen it in his life. A sable silhoured. Ham. I'll watch tonight, perchance 'twill wake again. Whore. I warrant you it will. Ham. If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape, and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you ha hitherto concealed this sight, let it be treble in your silence still. And whatsoe'er else shall hap tonight, jew it and understanding but no tongue. I will requite your lose, so fare ye well. Upon the platform twixt Eluan and Twelyu, I'll visit you. All. Our duty to your honor. Exeunt. Ham. Your lo, as mine to you, farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foule play would the night were come. Till then sit still my soul. Foule deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes. Enter. Sheena Tertia. Enter Laertes and Ophelia. Laer. My necessaries are embarked, farewell. And sister, as the winds do benefit. And convoy is assistant. Do not sleep. But let me hear from you. Awful. Do you doubt that? Laer. For Hamlet, and the trifling of his fours. Hold it a fashion and a toy in bloud. A violet in the youth of primy nature. Froward, not permanent. Sweet not lasting. The suppliance of a minute. No more. Awful. No more but so. Laer. Think it no more. For nature crescent does not grow alone. In thews and bulk, but as his temple waxes. The inward sorrows of the mind and soul grows wide withal. Perhaps he lose you now. And now no soil nor caudle doth besmirch the virtue of his fear, but you must fear. His greatness wait, his will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as vnulud persons do, corroe for himself, for, on his choice depends the sanctity and health of the whole state. And therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then if he says he lose you, it fits your wisdom so far to below it. as he in his peculiar sect and force may do his saying deed, which is no further. Then the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then wait what loss your honor may sustain, if with too credent you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his mastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep within the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The shariest maid is prodigal enough, if she'd mask her beauty to the moon. Virtue itself scapes not calumnious strokes. The canker galls, the infants of the spring, too oft before the buttons be disclosed, and in the morn and liquid dew of youth, contagious blastments are most imminent. Be wary then, best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near. Oath. I shall th effect of this good lesson keep, as watchman to my heart, but good my brother, do not as some vengracious pastors do, shew me the steep and thorny way to Hohen, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself, the primrose path of dalliance treads, and reeks not his own reed. Lar. Oh, fear me not. Enter Polonius. I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second low. Poland. Yet here Laertes. Aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sailey, and you are stayed for there, my blessing with you, and these few precepts in thy memory. See thou character. Ju thy thoughts no tongue, nor any proportioned thoughts his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul, with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm, with entertainment of each hatched, ven-fledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, beart that th opposed may beware of thee. Jewry man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy iagement. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France of the best rank and station are of a most select and generous chef in that neither a borrower, nor a lender be. For loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee. Lar. Most humbly do I take my low, my lord. Poland. The time inuits you, go, your seruance tend. Lar. Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I ha said to you. Oath. 'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it. Lar. Farewell. Exit Lar. Poland. What is't, Ophelia, he hath said to you? Oath. So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet. Poland. Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late joined private time to you, and you yourself ha of your audience be most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly, as it behows my daughter, and your honor. What is between you, Jimmy VP the truth? Oath. He hath my lord of late, made many tenders of his affection to me. Poland. Affection, pooh. You speak like a green girl, then sifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you below his tenders, as you call them? Oath. I do not know, my lord, what I should think. Poland. Marry, I'll teach you, think yourself a baby. That you attain his tenders for true pay. Which are not starling. Tender yourself more dearly. Or not to crack the wind of the poor phrase. Roaming it thus, you'll tender me a full oath. My lord, he hath important me with lo. In honorable fashion. Poland. I, fashion you may call it, go to. Oath. And hath joined countenance to his speech. My lord, with all the vows of Hohen. Poland. I, springes to catch woodcocks. I do know. When the blood burns, how prodigal the soul. Just the tongue vows, these blazes, daughter. Dewing more light than heat, extinct in both. Ewan in their promise, as it is a making. You must not take for fire. For this time, daughter. Be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate. Then a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet. Believes so much in him, that he is young. And with a larger tether may he walk. Then may be join you. In few, Ophelia. Do not below his vows. For they are brokers. Not of the eye, which their enuisments show. But mere implorators of unholy suts. Breathing like sanctified and pious bonds. The better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth. Paw you so slander any moment leisure. As to Jill words or talka with the Lord Hamlet. Luke toot, I charge you, come your ways. Oath. I shall obey my lord. Exeunt. Enter Hamlet, Horatio, Marcellus. Ham. The air bites shrewdly, is it very cold? Hor. It is a nipping and an eager air. Ham. What hour now? Hor. I think it lacks of 12. March. No, it is strook. Hor. Indeed I heard it not, then it draws near the season. Wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord? Ham. The king doth wake tonight, and takes his rouse. Keeps wassels and the swaggering vepspring reels. And as he drains his draughts of Renaish down. The kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out. The triumph of his pledge. Horat. Is it a custom? Ham. I merry ist. And to my mind, though I am nashu here. And to the manner born, it is a custom. More honored in the breach, than the observance. Enter ghost. Hor, Luke my lord, it comes. Ham. Angels and ministers of grace defend versus. Be thou a spirit of health, or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from Hohen, or blasts from hell. Be thy euns wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape. That I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet. King, father, royal Dane, oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance. But tell. Why thy canonized bones hearsed in death? How burst their cerements, why the sepulchre? Wherein we saw thee quietly inurned. Hath opt his ponderous and marble yaws. To cast thee VP again. What may this mean? That thou dead course again in complete steel. Reusits thus the glimpses of the moon. Making night hideous? And we fools of nature. So horridly to shake our disposition. With thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do? Ghost beckons Hamlet. Hor. It beckons you to go away with it. As if it some impartment did desire. To you alone. March. Luke with what courteous action. It wafts you to a more remote ground. But do not go with it. Hor. No, by no means. Ham. It will not speak, then will I follow it. Hor, do not my lord. Ham. Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee. And for my soul, what can it do to that? Being a thing immortal as itself. It wows me forth again, I'll follow it. Whore. What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful sonnet of the cliff? That beetles o'er his base into the sea. And there assumes some other horrible for me, which might deprive your sovereignty of reason, and draw you into madness. Think of it. Ham. It wafts me still, go on, I'll follow thee. March. You shall not go, my lord. Ham. Hold off your hand. Whore. Bruld, you shall not go. Ham. My fate cries out, and makes each petty ire in this body as hardy as the Nemean lion's Nero. Still am I cowed. Then hand me, gentlemen. By Hoen, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away, go on, I'll follow thee. Exeunt. Ghost and Hamlet. Whore. He waxes desperate with imagination. March. Let's follow, 'tis not fit thus to obey him. Whore, haw after, to what issue will this come? March. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Whore, Hoen will direct it. March. Nay, let's follow him. Exeunt. Enter Ghost and Hamlet. Ham. Where wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further. Go. Mark me. Ham. I will. Go. My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render VP myself. Ham. Alas, poor ghost. Go. Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. Ham. Speak, I am bound to hear. Go. So art thou to revenge, when thou shalt hear. Ham. What? Go. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fears, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold, whose lightest word would harrow VP thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars, start from their spheres, thy knotty and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand an end, like quills upon the fretful porpentine. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, Hamlet, O list. If thou didst ewer thy dear father lo. Ham. O Hoen. Go. Revenge his foul and most natural murder. Ham. Murder. Ghost. Murder most foul, as in the best it is. But this most foul, strange, and natural. Ham. Hast me to know it. That with wings as swift as meditation, or the thoughts of lo, may sweep to my revenge. Ghost. I find thee apt. And duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed that rots itself in ease, on Lethe wharf. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, here. It's June out, that sleeping in mine orchard. A serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. Ham. O my prophetic soul, mine Venkel. Ghost. I that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits, hath traitorous gifts. O wicked wit, and gifts, that ha the power so to seduce one to this shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. O Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose lure was of that dignity, that it went hand in hand, Ewan with the vow I made to her in marriage. And to decline upon a wretch, whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue, as it neue will be mood. Though lewdness courted in a shape of hoen. So lust, though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed, and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning's air. Brief let me be, sleeping within mine orchard. My custom always in the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy vencle stole. With use of cursed Hebanon in a vial. And in the porches of mine ears did pour the leperous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that swift as quicksilver, it courses through the natural gates and allies of the body, and with a sodane vigor it doth posset, and curd, like agar droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood, so did it mine, and a most instant tetter balked about. Most lazar-like, with vile and loathsome crust. All my smooth body. Thus was I, sleeping, by a brother's hand. Of life, of crown, and queen at once dispatched. Cut off Ewan in the blossoms of my sin. Vnhouseld, disappointed, gnanled. No reckoning made, but sent to my account. With all my imperfections on my head. O horrible, most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoe'er thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Lo her to hoen, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu, adieu, Hamlet, remember me. Enter. Ham. O all you host of Hoen. O earth, what else? And shall I couple hell? O fie, hold my heart. And you my sinews, grow not instant old. But bear me stiffly VP, remember thee. I, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, remember thee. Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all forms, all pleasures past, that youth and observation copied there. And thy commandment all alone shall lure within the book and volume of my brain, mixed with baser matter. Yes, by Hoen. O most pernicious woman. O villain, smiling damned villain. My tables. Meet it is I set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So Venkel there you are, now to my word. It is, adieu, remember me, I ha sworn't. Whore, and march within. My lord. Enter Horatio and Marcellus. March. Lord Hamlet. Whore, Hoen secure him. March. So be it. Whore, illo, ho, my lord. Ham. Hillo, ho, boy, come bird, come. March. How is my noble lord? Whore. What news, my lord? Ham. Oh wonderful. Whore, good my lord tell it. Ham. No ul rewheel it. Whore. Not I, my lord, by Hoen. March. Nor I, my lord. Ham. How say you then, would heart of man once think it? But ul be secret. Both. I, by Hoen, my lord. Ham. There's near a villain dwelling in all Denmark. But he's an errant gnaw. Whore. There needs no ghost my lord, come from the Graua, to tell versus this. Ham. Why right, you are right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands, and part. You, as your business and desires shall point you. For you man has business and desire. Such as it is, and for mine own poor part. Look you. I'll go pray. Whore. These are but wild and hurling words, my lord. Ham. I'm sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily. Whore. There's no offense, my lord. Ham. Yes, by Saint Patrick, but there is, my lord. And much offense too, touching this vision here. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. For your desire to know what is between verses. Or Master T as you may. And now good friends. As you are friends, sholers and soldiers. Do me one poor request. Whore. What is, my lord? We will. Ham. Neuer make known what you ha seen tonight. Both. My lord, we will not. Ham. Nay, but swear't. Whore. In faith, my lord, not I. March. Nor I, my lord, in faith. Ham. Upon my sword. Marcel. We ha sworn, my lord, already. Ham. Indeed, upon my sword, indeed. Go. Swear. Ghost cries vendor the stage. Ham. Ah ha boy, sayest thou so? Art thou there, true penny? Come when you hear this fellow in the cellar edge. Consent to swear. Whore, propose the oath, my lord. Ham. Neuer to speak of this that you ha seen. Swear by my sword. Go. Swear. Ham. Hick and beak. Then we'll shift for groaned. Come hither, gentlemen. And lay your hands again upon my sword. Neuer to speak of this that you ha heard. Swear by my sword. Go. Swear. Ham. Well said, old mole, canst work ground so fast. A worthy pioneer, once more remo good friends. Whore. O day and night, but this is wondrous strange. Ham. And therefore as a stranger Jew it welcome. There are more things in Hohen and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in our philosophy. But come. Here as before, Neuer so help you mercy. How strange or oddie soe'er I bear myself. As I perchance hereafter shall think meet. To put an antic disposition on. That you at such time seeing me, Neuer shall. With arms incombred thus, or thus, head shake. Or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase. As well, we know, or we could and if we would. Or if we list to speak, or there be and if there might. Or such ambiguous jewing out to note. That you know aught of me. This not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear. Ghost. Swear. Ham. Rest perturbed spirit, so gentlemen. With all my law I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is. May do express his learned friending to you. God willing shall not lack a, let verses go in together. And still your fingers on your lips I pray. The time is out of iant, O cursed spite. That you or I was born to set it right. Nay, come let's go together. Exeunt. Actus secundus. Enter Polonius, and Reinaldo. Polon. Jew him his money, and these notes Reinaldo. Reinol. I will, my lord. Polon. You shall do my rules wisely, good Reinaldo. Before you visit him you make inquiry. Of his behower. Reinol. My lord, I did intend it. Polon. Marry, well said. Very well said. Look you, sir. Inquire me first what danskers are in Paris. And how, and who, what means. And where they keep. What company, at what expense, and finding. By this encompassment and drift of question. That they don't know my son, come you more nearer. Then your particular demands will touch it. Take you as, 'twere some distant knowledge of him. And thus I know his father and his friends. And in part him. Do you mark this Reinoldo? Reinol. I, very well my lord. Poland. And in part him, but you may say not well. But if be he I mean, he's very wild. Addicted so, and they're put on him. What forgeries you please. Marry, none so ranka. As may dishonor him, take heed of that. But sir, such wanton, wild, and swall slips. As our companions noted and most known. To youth and liberty. Reinol. As gaming my lord. Poland. I, or drinking, fencing, swearing. Quarrelling, drabbing. You may go so far Reinol. My lord that would dishonor him. Poland. Faith no, as you may season it in the charge. You must not put another scandal on him. That he is open to incontinency. That's not my meaning, but breath his faults so quaintly. That they may see me the taints of liberty. The flash and outbreak of a fiery mind. A saw Jean's in reclaimed bloud of general assault. Reinol. But my good lord. Poland. Wherefore should you do this? Reinol. I my lord, I would know that. Poland. Marry sir, here's my drift. And I believe it is a fetch of warrant. You laying these slight sullies on my son. As, 'twere a thing a little soiled ith working. Mark you your party in conures, him you would sound. Howing you are seen. In the prenominate crimes. The youth you breath of guilty, be assured. He closes with you in this consequence. Good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman. According to the phrase and the addition. Of man and country. Reinol. Very good my lord. Poland. And then sir does he this? He does, what was I about to say? I was about say something, where did I low? Reinol. At closes in the consequence. At friend, or so, and gentleman. Poland. At closes in the consequence, I marry. He closes with you thus. I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or t'other day. Or then, with such and such. And as you say. There was he gaming, there or he took in's rouse. They're falling out at tennis, or perchance. I saw him enter such a house of Saley. Videlicet, a brothel, or so forth. See you now. Your bait of falsehood, takes this cape of truth. And thus do we of wisdom and of reach. With windless, and with essays of bias. By indirections find directions out. So by my former lecture and advice. Shall you my son, you haw me, haw you not? Reinol. My lord I haw. Poland. God by you, fare you well. Reinol. Good my lord. Poland. Observe his inclination in yourself. Reinol. I shall my lord. Poland. And let him ply his music. Reinol. Well, my lord. Enter. Enter Ophelia. Poland. Farewell. How now Ophelia, what's the matter? Oaf. Alas my lord, I ha been so affrighted. Poland. With what, in the name of Hohen? Oaf. My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber. Lord Hamlet with his doublet all bracked. No hat upon his head, his stockings fouled. Gartred, and down jud to his ankle. Pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other. And with a look so piteous in purport. As if he had been loosed out of hell. To speak of horrors, he comes before me. Poland. Mad for thy low oath. My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it. Poland. What said he? Oath. He took me by the wrist, and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm. And with his other hand thus o'er his brow. He fouls to such perusal of my face. As he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, a little shaking of mine arm. And thrice his head thus wowing VP and down. He rised a sigh, so piteous and profound. That it did see me to shatter all his bulk. And end his being. That done, he lets me go. And with his head o'er his shoulders turned. He seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their help. And to the last, bended their light on me. Poland. Go with me, I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of lo. Whose violent property foredoes itself. And leads the will to desperate undertakings. As oft as any passion vendor hoen. That does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What ha you join him any hard words of late? Oath. No my good lord, but as you did command. I did repel his letters, and denied his access to me. Paul. That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better speed and iagement. I had not quoted him. I fear he did but trifle. And meant to rack thee, but beshrew my jealousy. It seems it is as proper to our age. To cast beyond our cellus in our opinions. As it is common for the younger sort. To lack a discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, being kept close might moo. More grief to hide, than hate to vederlo. Exeunt. Scena secunda. Enter king, queen, Rosencrane, and Guildenstern come alleges. King. Welcome dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. More hour, that we much did long to see you. The need we ha to vse you, did provoke. Our hasty sending. Something ha you heard. Of Hamlet's transformation, so I call it. Since not th exterior, nor the inward man. Resembles that it was. What it should be. More than his father's death, that thus hath put him. So much from th understanding of himself. I cannot deem of. I entreat you both. That being of so young days brought VP with him. And since so neighbored to his youth, and humour. That you vouchsafe your rest here in our court. Some little time, so by your companies. To draw him on to pleasures. And to gather. So much as from occasions you may glean. That opened lies within our remedy. Chew. Good gentleman, he hath much talked of you. And sure I am, two men there are not luing. To whom he more adheres. If it will please you. To shew verses so much gentry, and goodwill. As to expend your time with verses a while. For the supply and profit of our hope. Your visitation shall receive you such thanks. As fits a king's remembrance. Rosin. Both your majesties. Might by the sovereign power you ha of verses. Put your dread pleasures, more into command. Then to entree attire. Gil. We both obey. And here juvp our cellus, in the full bent. To lay our cerusses freely at your feet. To be commanded. King. Thanks Rosencrantz, and gentle Guildenstern. Chew, thanks Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit. My too much changed son. Go some of ye. And bring the gentleman where Hamlet is. Gil. Hoens make our presence and our practices. Pleasant and helpful to him. Enter. Queen. Amen. Enter Polonius. Paul th ambassadors from Norway, my good lord. are fully returned. King. Thou still hast been the father of good news. Paul I, my lord. Assure you, my good liege. I hold my duty, as I hold my soul. Both to my God, one to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy. So sure as I ha verses to do, that I ha found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy. King. Oh, speak of that I do long to hear. Paul Jo first admittance to th ambassadors. My news shall be the news to that great feast. King. Thyself do grace to them, and bring them in. He telephones me my sweet queen, that he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper. Chew. I doubt it is no other, but the main. His father's death, and our o'er hasty marriage. Enter Polonius, Voltimand, and Cornelius. King. Well, we shall sift him. Welcome, good friends. Say, Voltimand, what from our brother Norway? Volt. Most fair return of greetings, and desires. Upon our first, he sent out to suppress his nephew's Lewis, which to him appeared to be a preparation gainst the Polique. But better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness, whereat grewed that so his sickness, age, and impotence was falsely borne in hand, sends out arrests on Fortinbras, which he, in brief, obeys. Receives rebuke from Norway, and in fine makes vow before his venkel, noyer more to do th essay of arms against your majesty. Whereon old Norway, were come with Ioe. Jus him 3,000 crowns in annual fee. And his commission to employ those soldiers. So lewed as before, against the Polique. With an entreaty herein further shown. That it might please you to jo quiet passe through your dominions, for his enterprise. On such regards of safety and allowance as therein are set down. King. It likes verses well. And at our more considered time we'll read. Answer, and think upon this business. Meantime we thank you, for your well took labor. Go to your rest, at night we'll feast together. Most welcome home. Exit ambus. Pole. This business is very well ended. My liege, and madam, to expostulate. What majesty should be, what duty is. Why day is day, night, night, and time is time. Were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since bruity is the soul of wit, and tediousness, the limbas and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness. What is't, but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go. Chew. More matter, with less art. Paul, madam, I swear I vse no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis true, 'tis pit-tie. And pit-tie it is true, a foolish figure. But farewell it, for I will vse no art. Mad let verses grant him then, and now remains that we find out the cause of this effect. Or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect defectio, comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Perpend. I ha a daughter, whilst she is mine. Who in her duty and obedience, mark. Hath joined me this, now gather, and surmise. The letter. To the celestial, and my soul's idol, the most beautiful Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a Vilda phrase, beautified is a Vilda phrase, but you shall hear these in her excellent white bosom, these. Chew, came this from Hamlet to her. Paul, good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou, the stars are fire. Doubt, that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But noyer doubt, I lo. O dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers, I ha not art to reckon my groans. But that I lo thee best, O most best below it. Adieu. Thine your more most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shewed me. And more abode hath his soliciting. As they fell out by time, by means, and place. All joined to mine ear. King. But how hath she received his lo? Paul. What do you think of me? King. As of a man, faithful and honorable. Paul. I wold fain pro so. But what might you think? When I had seen this hot lo on the wing. As I perceived it, I must tell you that. Before my daughter told me what might you, or my dear majesty your queen here, think. If I had played the desk or table book, or joined my heart a winking, mute and dumb, or looked upon this lo with idle sight, what might you think? No, I went round to work. And, my young mistress, thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be, and then, I precepts gave her. That she should lock herself from his resort. Admit no messengers. Receive you no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice. And he repulsed. A short tale to make. Fell into a sadness, then into a fast. Thence to a watch, thence into a weakness. Thence to a lightness, and by this declension. Into the madness whereon now he rouse. And all we wail for. King. Do you think 'tis this? Chew. It may be very likely. Paul hath there been such a time, I'd fain know that. That I ha positionally said, 'tis so. When it proud otherwise? King. Not that I know. Paul. Take this from this. If this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find. Where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed. Within the center. King. How may we try it further? Pole. You know sometimes. He walks 4 hours together, here. In the lobby. Chew. So he has indeed. Pole. At such a time I'll lose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter, if he lo her not. And be not from his reason fallen thereon. Let me be no assistant for a state. And keep a farm and carters. King. We will try it. Enter Hamlet reading on a book. Chew. But Luke where sadly the poor wretch comes reading. Paul away, I do beseech you, both away. I'll board him presently. Exit King and Queen. Oh Jimmy lo. How does my good Lord Hamlet? Ham. Well, God a mercy. Paul. Do you know me, my lord? Ham. Excellent, excellent well, why are a fishmonger? Paul. Not I my lord. Ham. Then I would you were so honest a man. Paul honest, my lord. Ham. I sir, to be honest as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 2,000. Paul. That's very true, my lord. Ham. For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion, haw you a daughter? Pole. I haw my lord. Ham. Let her not walk ith son, conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend Luke toot. Paul. How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger, he is far gone, and truly in my youth, I suffered much extremity for lo, very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read my lord? Ham. Words, Words. Paul. What is the matter, my lord? Ham. Between who? Paul. I mean the matter you mean, my lord. Ham. Slanders, sir, for the satirical slaw says here, that old men ha grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled. Their eyes purging thick amber, or plum tree gum, and that they ha a plentiful lock of wit, together with weak hamas. All which, sir, though I most powerfully, and potently below. Yet I hold it not honesty to ha it thus set down, for you yourself, sir, should be old as I am, if like a crab you could go backward. Paul. Though this be madness. Yet there is method in't, will you walk? Out of the air, my lord. Ham. Into my groue. Paul. Indeed that is out oth air. How pregnant, sometimes, his replies are. A happiness. That often madness hits on. Which reason and sonitai could not. So prosperously be deliured of. I will loe him. And so dainly contree you the means of meeting. Between him, and my daughter. My honourable lord, I will most humbly. Take my loe of you. Ham. You cannot, sir, take from me anything, that I will more willingly part withal, except my life, my life. Polon. Fare you well, my lord. Ham. These tedious old fools. Polon. You go to seek my lord Hamlet, there. He is. Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Rosen. God saw you, sir. Gild. Mine honoured lord. Rosen. My most dear lord. Ham. My excellent good friends. How doest thou? Guildenstern. Oh, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do ye? Both? Rosen. As the indifferent children of the earth. Gild. Happy, in that we are not you are happy, on fortunes. Cap, we are not the very button. Ham. Nor the soles of her shoe. Rosen. Neither, my lord. Ham. Then you leoa about her waist, or in the middle. Of her fore. Gil. Faith, her priwits, we. Ham. In the secret parts of fortune. Oh, most true. She is a strumpet. What's the news? Rosen. None, my lord. But that the world's grown. Honest. Ham. Then is doomsday near, but your news is. Not true. Let me question more in particular, what ha? You, my good friends, desert at the hands of fortune. That she sends you to prison hither. Gil. Prison, my lord. Ham. Denmark's a prison. Rosen. Then is the world one. Ham. A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one oth worst. Rosen. We think not so, my lord. Ham. Why then, 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so, to me it is a prison. Rosen. Why then your ambition makes it one, 'tis too narrow for your mind. Ham. O God, I could be bounded in a nutshell, and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I ha bad dreams. Gil. Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious, is merely the shadow of a dream. Ham. A dream itself is but a shadow. Rosen. Truly, and I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality, that it is but a shadow's shadow. Ham. Then are our beggars' bodies. And our monarchs. And outstretched heroes the beggars' shadows. Shall we to court, for, by my fay I cannot reason. Both. We'll wait upon you. Ham. No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended, but in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore? Rosin. To visit you my lord, no other occasion. Ham. Beggar that I am ewen poor in thanks, but I thank you, and sure dear friends my thanks are too dear a half a penny, were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal iously with me, come, come. Nay speak. Gil. What should we say my lord? Ham. Why anything? But to the purpose, you were sent for, and there is a keen confession in your looks. Which your modesties ha not craft enough to colour, I know the good king and queen ha sent for you. Rosin. To what end my lord? Ham. That you must teach me, but let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, by the obligation of our preserved law, and by what more dear, a better proposer could charge you withal. Be ewen and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no. Rosin. What say you? Ham. Nay then I ha an eye of you, if you lo me. Hold not off. Gil. My lord, we were sent for. Ham. I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation pruent your discovery of your secrecy to the king and queen, molt no feather, I ha of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise. And indeed, it goes so humanly with my disposition, that this goodly frame the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy the air, look you, this brow o'erhanging, this majesticall roof, fretted with golden fire, why, it appears no other thing to me, than a foule and pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason! How infinite in faculty! In forme and mooing how express and admirable! In action, how like an angel! In apprehension, how like a god! The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals! And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, no, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you see me to say so. Rosin. My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts. Ham. Why did you laugh, when I said, man delights not me? Rosin. To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you, we quoted them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you Cerus. Ham. He that plays the king shall be welcome. His majesty shall ha tribute of me, the adventurous knight shall vse his foil and target, the lower shall not sigh gratis. The humorous man shall end his part in peace, the clown shall make those laugh whose lungs are tickled ath seer, and the lady shall say her min freely. Or the Blanqui verse shall halt for't, what players are they? Rosin. You and those you were wont to take delight in the tragedians of the city. Ham. How chances it they troil? Their residence both in reputation and profit was better both ways. Rosin. I think their inhibition comes by the means of the late innuation. Ham. Though they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city. Are they so followed? Rosin. No indeed, they are not. Ham. How comes it? Though they grow rusty. Rosin. Nay, their endure keeps in the wonted pace, but there is sir an area of children, little yeases, that cry out on the top of question. And are most tyrannically clapped for't, these are now the fashion, and so berattled the common stages, so they call them, that many wearing rapiers, are afraid of goose quills, and dare scarce come thither. Ham. What are they children? Who maintains them? How are they escorted? Will they pursue the quality no longer than they can sing? Will they not say afterwards if they should grow themselves to common players, as it is most like if their means are not better, their writers do them wrong, to make them exclaim against their own succession? Rosin. Faith there has been much to do on both sides, and the nation holds it no sin, to tar them to controversy. There was for a while, no money bid for argument, unless the poet and the player went to cuffs in the question. Ham. Is't possible? Guild. Oh, there has been much throwing about of brains. Ham. Do the boys carry it away? Rosin. Aye, that they do, my lord. Hercules and his load too. Ham. It is not strange, for mine Venkel is king of Denmark, and those that would make mouths at him while my father lewd, 20, 40, and 100 ducats apiece, for his picture in little. There is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out. Flourish for the players. Gil. There are the players. Ham. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore, your hands, come, the appurtenance of welcome, is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in the garby, lest my extent to the players, which I tell you must shew fairly outward, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome, but my Venkel father, and aunt mother are deceived. Gil. In what, my dear lord? Ham. I am but mad northwest, when the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. Enter Polonius. Paul. Well be with you, gentlemen. Ham. Hark you, Guildenstern, and you too, at each you're a hearer, that great baby you see there, is not yet out of his swathing clouts. Rosin. Happily he's the second time come to them, for they say, an old man is twice a child. Ham. I will prophesy. He comes to tell me of the players. Mark it, you say right, sir, for a Monday morning 'twas so indeed. Paul. My lord, I ha news to tell you. Ham. My lord, I ha news to tell you. When Roscius an actor in Rome. Pole. The actors are come hither, my lord. Ham. Buzz, buzz. Paul, upon mine honor. Ham. Then can each actor on his assy, Poland. The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral, scene indubitable, or poem limited. Seneca cannot be too holy, nor Plautus too light, for the law of writ, and the liberty. These are the only men. Ham. O Jephthah judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou! Paul. What a treasure had he, my lord! Ham. Why, one fair daughter, and no more. The which he lewd passing well. Paul. Still on my daughter. Ham. Am I not ith right, old Jephthah? Poland. If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I ha a daughter. That I lo passing well. Ham. Nay, that follows not. Poland. What follows then, my lord? Ha. Why, as by lot, God wot, and then you know, it came to passe, as most like it was, the first row of the Pons chanson will shew you more. For Luke, where my abridgments come. Enter 4 or few players. Ye are welcome, masters, welcome all. I am glad to see thee well, welcome, good friends. O my old friend! Thy face is valiant since I saw thee last. Comest thou to beard me in Denmark? What, my young lady and mistress? Burlady, your ladyship is nearer Hohen than when I saw you last, by the altitude of a chop pine. Pray God your voice like a piece of incurrent gold be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are all welcome, we lene to, like French falconers, fly at anything we see, we ha a speech straight. Come, Joe versus a tast of your quality, come, a passionate speech. 1. Play. What speech, my lord? Ham. I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was noyer acted, or if it was, not abo once, for the play I remember pleased not the million, 'twas cauery to the general, but it was, as I received it, and others, whose iagement in such matters cried in the top of mine, an excellent play. Well digested in the schemes, set down with as much modes tie, as cunning. I remember one said, there was no sowlets in the lines, to make the matter sowy. Nor no matter in the phrase, that might indict the author of affectation, but called it an honest method. One chaf speech in it, I chiefly lewd, 'twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it especially, where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it Leoa in your memory, begin at this line, let me see, the rugged Pyrrhus like th Hyrcanian beast. It is not so, it begins with Pyrrhus the rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms black as his purpose, did the knight resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse. Hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal, head to foot now is he to take shoals, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, balked and impasted with the parchang streets. That lend a tyrannous, and damned light to their vilda murthers, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus orisized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus old grandsire Priam seeks. Pole. For God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent. And good discretion. 1. Player. Anon he finds him. Striking too short at Greeks. His antic sword. Rebellious to his arm, lies where it phallus. Repugnant to command, vnequal match. Pyrrhus at Priam Dryus, in rage strikes wide. But with the whiff and wind of his fell sword. Th Nerud father fouls. Then senseless Ilium. Seeming to feel his blow, with flaming top. Stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash. Takes prisoner Pyrrhus ear. For lo, his sword. Which was declining on the milky head. Of Rheur and Priam, seemed ith air to stick. So as a painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood. And like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. But as we often see against some storm. A silence in the Hoans, the Raka stands still. The bold wind speechless, and the orb below. As hush as death, anon the dreadful thunder. Doth rend the region. So after Pyrrhus' pause. A roused vengeance sets him new a work. And neuer did the Cyclops' hammers fall. On Mars his armors, forged for profiteern. With less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword. Now phallus on Priam. Out, thou strumpet fortune, all you gods. In general synod take away her power. Break all the spokes and follies from her wheel. And bool the round nowy down the hill of Hoan. As low as to the fiends. Paul. This is too long. Ham. It shall to th barbers, with your beard. Prithee say on, he's for a ig, or a tale of Bowdry, or he sleeps. Say on, come to Hecuba. 1. Play. But who, oh who, had seen the ennobled queen? Ham. The ennobled queen. Pole. That's good, ennobled queen is good. 1. Play. Run barefoot VP in down. Threatening the flame. With bison room, a cloud about that head. Where late the diadem stood, and for a robe. About her lank and all o'er-teamed loins. A blanket in th alarum of fear caught VP. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped. Gainst fortune's state, would treason ha pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then. When she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport. In mincing with his sword her husband's limbs. The instant burst of clamour that she made. Vnless things mortal move them not at all. Would ha made Milche the burning eyes of Hoan. And passion in the gods. Pole. Luke where he has not turned his colour, and has tears in's eyes. Pray you no more. Ham. 'Tis well, I'll ha thee speak out the rest, soon. Good my lord, will you see the players wel bestowed? Do ye hear, let them be well versed, for they are the abstracts and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better ha a bad epitaph, than their ill report while you lewd. Pole. My lord, I will vse them according to their desart. Ham. God's bodykins man, better. Vse Uri man after his desart, and who should scape whipping, vse them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deseru, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in. Paul. Come sirs. Exit Poland. Ham. Follow him friends, we'll hear a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me old friend, can you play the Murder of Gonzago? Play. I my lord. Ham. We'll hot tomorrow night. You could for a need study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down, and insert int. Could ye not? Play. I my lord. Ham. Very well. Follow that lord, and look you. Mock him not. My good friends, I'll loe you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore. Rosin. Good my lord. Exeunt. Mene Hamlet. Ham. I so, God by ye, now I am alone. Oh what a rogue and peasant slaw am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fix ion, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his whole conceit, that from her working, all his visage warmed, tears in his eyes, distraction in's aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting, with forms, to his conceit, and all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba? That he should weep for her. What would he do? Had he the motive and the cue for passion? That I haw. He would drown the stage with tears, and clothe the general ear with horrid speech. Make mad the guilty, and appale the free. Confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculty of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak, like I in a dreams, impregnant of my cause, and can say nothing, no, not for a king, upon whose property, and most dear life, a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my patée cross, plucks off my beard, and blows it in my face, tweaks me by th nose, jews me the lie ith throat, as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Ha! Why I should take it, for it cannot be. But I am pigeon-lured, and lack a gall, to make oppression bitter, or ere this, I should ha fatted all the region kites. With this slaws off all, Blowdy, a bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindles villain. O vengeance! Who? What an ass am I! I sure, this is most brow. That I, the son of the dear murdered, prompted to my revenge by Hohen, and hell, must, like a whore, then pack my heart with words, and fall a cursing like a very drab, a scullion, 5 pont, fall about my brain. I ha heard, that guilty creatures sitting at a play, ha by the very cunning of the scheme, ben a strook so to the soul, that presently, they ha proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it ha no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll ha these players play something like the murder of my father, before mine Venkel. I'll observe his looks. I'll rent him to the quick, if he but blench. I know my course. The spirit that I ha seen may be the diule, and the diule hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yea and perhaps, out of my weakness, and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll ha grounds more relatio than this, the play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Exit. Enter King, Queen, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and lords. King. And can you by no drift of circumstance get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet, with turbulent and dangerous lunacy? Rosin. He does confess he feels himself distracted. But from what cause he will by no means speak. Gil. Nor do we find him forward to be sounded. But with a crafty madness keeps aloof. When we would bring him on to some confession of his true state. Chew. Did he receive you well? Rosin. Most like a gentleman. Gild. But with much forcing of his disposition. Rosin. Niggard of question, but of our demands. Most free in his reply. Chew. Did you essay him to any pastime? Rosin. Madam, it so fell out, that certain players we o'erwrought on the way, of these we told him. And there did see me in him a kind of Ioe. To hear of it, they are about the court. And, as I think, they ha already order this night to play before him. Pole. 'Tis most true. And he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear, and see the matter. King. With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentleman. Jew him a further edge, and dry you his purpose on to these delights. Rosin. We shall, my lord. Exeunt. King. Sweet Gertrude Low verses 2. For we ha closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may there affront Ophelia, her father, and myself, lawful espials. Will so bestow our cellus, that seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him, as he is behawed, if bth affliction of his low, or no, that thus he suffers for. Chew. I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness, so shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again. To both your honors. Oath. Madam, I wish it may. Paul Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please ye. We will bestow our cellus, read on this book. That shew of such an exercise may color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this. 'Tis too much proud, that with devotion's visage and pious action, we do surge o'er the Diul himself. King. Oh, 'tis true. How smart a lash that speech doth to my conscience. The harlot's cheek beautied with playstring art is not more vgly to the thing that helps it. Then is my deed, to my most painted word. O holy burthen. Paul. I hear him coming, let's withdraw, my lord. Exeunt. Enter Hamlet. Ham. To be, or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the min to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep, to say we end the heartache, and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we ha shuffled off this mortal coil. Must Jew versus pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the poor man's contumely. The pangs of disprised law, the law's delay. The insolence of office. And the spurns that patient merit of the worthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would these fardels bear? To grunt and sweat vendor a weary life. But that the dread of something after death. The discoured countray, from whose bourne no trower returns, puzzles the will. And makes versus rather bear those ills we haw. Then fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of verses all. And thus the natio hew of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn away, and loose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered. Oath. Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day? Ham. I humbly thank you, well, well, well. Oath. My lord, I haw remembrances of yours, that I haw longed to read aliur. I pray you now, receive you them. Ham. No, no, I noyer gay you ought. Oath. My honored lord, I know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath compassed, as made the things more rich, than perfume left. Take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor, when jurors prove in kind. There my lord. Ham. Ha, ha, are you honest? Oath. My lord. Ham. Are you fair? Oath. What means your lordship? Ham. That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your bow tie. Oath. Could bow tie my lord, haw better commerce than your honesty? Ham. I true lie, for the power of bow tie will sooner transform honesty from what is, to a bawd, than the force of honesty can translate bow tie into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time jus it proof. I did lue you once. Oath. Indeed my lord, you made me below so. Ham. You should not haw belood me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I lewd you not. Oath. I was the more deceived. Ham. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things, that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck, than I haw thoughts to put them in imagination, to giu them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between heaven and earth? We are errant gnaws all, below none of verses go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father? Oath. At home, my lord. Ham. Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool no way, but in's own house. Farewell. Oath. Oh help him, you sweet hoens. Ham. If thou doest marry, I'll giu thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Go, farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough, what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too. Farewell. Oath. O heavenly powers, restore him. Ham. I haw heard of your prattlings too well enough. God has joined you one pace, and you make yourself another, you gidge, you amble, and you lisp, and nickname God's creatures, and make your wantonness, your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on't, it hath made me mad. I say, we will haw no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall lioa, the rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go. Exit Hamlet. Oath. Oh what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, sholers, eye, tongue, sword. Expectancy and rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion, and the mould of for me. Obserute of all observers, quite down. Ha, eye of ladies most decked and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows. Now see that noble, and most serene reason. Like sweet bells I angled out of tune, and harsh. That matched for me and feature of blown youth. Blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me. Thaw seen what I ha seen, see what I see. Enter King, and Polonius. King. Lo. His affections do not that way tend. Nor what he spake, though it lacked for me a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, or which his melancholy sits on brood. And I do doubt the hatch, and the disclose will be some danger, which to pruent I ha in quick determination. Thus set it down. He shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different, with variable objects, shall expel this something set-led matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on't? Paul. It shall do well. But yet do I below the origin and commencement of this grief, sprung from neglected lo. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell verses, what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please. But if you hold it fit after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to shew his griefs, let her be round with him. And I'll be placked so, please you in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wise dome best shall think. King. It shall be so. Madness in great ones, must not watched go. Exeunt. Enter Hamlet, and 2 or 3 of the players. Ham. Speak the speech I pray you, as I pronounced it to you trippingly on the tongue, but if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as Leoa the town crier had spoke my lines, nor do not saw the air too much your hand thus, but vse all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and, as I say, the whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that made you its smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul, to see a robustious periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who, for the most part, are capable of nothing, but inexplicable dumb shoes. And noise, I could ha such a fellow whipped for redoing termagant, it out Herod's Herod. Pray you oid it. Player. I warrant your honor. Ham. Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstop not the mode's tie of nature. For anything so ouer done, is the purpose of playing, whose end both at the first and now, was and is, to hold as 'twere the mirror vp to nature. To shew virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his for me in pressure. Now, this ouer done, or come tardy off, though it make the skillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve. The censure of the which one, must in your allowance orevai a whole theatre of others. Oh, there be players that I ha seen play, and heard others praise, and that highly, not to speak it profanely, that neither howing the accent of Christians, nor the gait of Christian, pagan, or Norman, ha so strutted and bellowed. That I ha thought some of nature's uriny men had made men, and not made them well, they imitated humanity so abominably. Play. I hope we ha reformed that indifferently with verses, sir. Ham. Oh, reform it altogether. And let those that play your clowns, speak no more than is set down for them. For there be of them, that will themselves laugh, to set on some quantity of barren spectators to laugh too, though in the meantime, some necessary question of the play be then to be considered, that's villainous. And shews a most pitiful ambition in the full that vises it. Go make you ready. Exit players. Enter Polonius, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern. How now, my lord? Will the king hear this piece of work? Paul. And the queen too, and that presently. Ham. Bid the players make haste. Exit Polonius. Will you too help to hasten them? Both. We will, my lord. Exeunt. Enter Horatio. Ham. What hoa, Horatio? Ora. Here, sweet lord, at your service. Ham. Horatio, thou art e'en as I-est a man. As ere my conversation coped withal. Ora. O my dear lord. Ham. Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee? That no revenue hast, but thy good spirits. To feed and clothe thee. Why should the poor be flattered? No, let the candid tongue, like absurd pompa. And crook the pregnant hinges of the knee. Where thrift may follow feigning. Dost thou hear? Since my dear soul was mistress of my choice. And could of men distinguish, her election. Hath sealed thee for herself. For thou hast been as one in suffering all, that suffers nothing. A man that fortune's buffets, and rewards. Hath ta'en with equal thanks. And blessed are those. Whose blood and iagement are so well commingled. That they are not a pipe for fortune's finger. To sound what stop she please. Jew me that man. That is not passion's slaw, and I will wear him. In my heart's core. I, in my heart of heart. As I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight to before the king. One skein of it comes near the circumstance. Which I ha told thee, of my father's death. I pry thee, when thou seest that act afoot. Ewan with the very comment of my soul. Observe mine venkel, if his occulted guilt. Do not itself enkennel in one speech. It is a damned ghost that we ha seen. And my imaginations are as foule. As Vulcan's tithe. Jew him needful note. For I mine eyes will renew it to his face. And after we will both our iagements iowan. To censure of his seeming. Ora. Well, my lord. If he steal out the whilst this play is playing. And scape detecting, I will pay the theft. Enter king, queen, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz. Guildenstern, and other lords attendant with his guard carrying torches. Danish. March. Sound. A flourish. Ham. They are coming to the play, I must be idle. Get you a place. King. How fares our cozen Hamlet? Ham. Excellent, I faith, of the camelion's dish, I eat. The air promise grammed, you cannot feed capon so. King. I ha nothing with this answer Hamlet, these words are not mine. Ham. No, nor mine. Now my lord, you plaid once. Ith university, you say. Poland. That I did, my lord, and was accounted a good actor. Ham. And what did you enact? Pole. I did enact Iulius Caesar, I was killed ith capital. Brutus killed me. Ham. It was a brute part of him, to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready? Rosin. I, my lord, they stave upon your patience. Chew. Come hither, my good Hamlet, sit by me. Ha. No, good mother, here's metal more attracts you. Paul. Oh ho, do you mark that? Ham. Lady, shall I lie in your lap? Oath. No, my lord. Ham. I mean, my head upon your lap. Oath. I, my lord. Ham. Do you think I meant country matters? Oath. I think nothing, my lord. Ham. That's a fair thought to lie between maid's legs. Oath. What is my lord? Ham. Nothing. Oath. You are merry, my lord. Ham. Who I? Oath. I my lord. Ham. O God, your only-eyed maker, what should a man do, but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours. Oath. Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord. Ham. So long. Nay then let the Diuel wear black, for I'll haw a suite of sables. O Hoans. Die 2 months ago, and not forgotten yet? Then there's hope, a great man's memory, may outlive his life half a year, but burledy he must build a churches then, or else shall he suffer not thinking on, with the hobby horse, whose epitaph is, for the hobby horse is forgot. Hautboys play. The dumb shoe enters. Enter a king and queen, very lewingly, the queen embracing him. She kneels, and makes shew of protestation to him. He takes her VP, and declines his head upon her neck. Lays him down upon a bank of flowers. She seeing him asleep, lows him. Anon comes in a fellow. Takes off his crown, kisses it, and pours poison in the king's ears, and exits. The queen returns, finds the king dead, and makes passionate action. The poisoner, with some 2 or 3 mutes comes in again, seeming to lament with her. The dead body is carried away, the poisoner woos the queen with gifts, she seems loath and unwilling a while, but in the end accepts his lure. Exeunt. Oath. What means this, my lord? Ham. Marry, this is Mishing Malicho, that means mischief. Oath. Belike this shoe imports the argument of the play. Ham. We shall know by these fellows, the players cannot keep counsel, they'll tell all. Oath. Will they tell versus what this shoe meant? Ham. I, or any shoe that you'll shoe him. Be not. You ash him to shoe, he'll not shame to tell you what it means. Oath. You are not, I'll mark the play. Enter prologue. 4 verses, and for our tragedy. Here stooping to your clemency. We beg your hearing patient lie. Ham. Is this a prologue, or the poesy of a ring? Oath. 'Tis brief, my lord. Ham. As woman's lo. Enter king and his queen. King. Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round. Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus orbed ground. And 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen. About the world hot times 1230's been. Since lo our hearts. And Hymen did our hands. Night commutual, in most sacred bands. Bap. So many ironies may the sun and moon make verses again count ore, ere lo be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late. So far from cheer, and from your former state. That I distrust you, yet though I distrust discomfort you, my lord, it nothing must. For women's fear and lo, holds quantity. In neither aught. Or in extremity. Now what my lo is, proof hath made you know. And as my lo is sizzed, my fear is so. King. Faith I must lo thee lo, and shortly too. My operant powers my functions lo to do. And thou shalt leoa in this fair world behind. Honored, bellowed, and haply, one as kind. For husband shalt thou. Bap. Oh confound the rest. Such lo, must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband, let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first. Ham. Wormwood, wormwood. Baptist. The instances that second marriage moo are base respects of thrift, but none of lo. A second time, I kill my husband dead. When second husband kisses me in bed. King. I do belie you. Think what now you speak. But what we do determine, oft we break. Purpose is but the slaw to memory. Of violent birth, but poor validity. Which now like fruit from ripe sticks on the tree. But fall'n shaken, when they mellow be. Most necessary, 'tis, that we forget. To pay our sellus, what to our sellus is debt. What to our sellus in passion we propose. The passion ending, doth the purpose lose. The violence of other grief or ioe. Their own enactors with themselves destroy. Where ioe most ruels, grief doth most lament. Grief ioes, ioe grees on slender accident. This world is not for I, nor 'tis not strange. That you and our lose should with our fortunes change. For 'tis a question left versus yet to pro. Whether lo lead fortune, or else fortune lo. The great man down, you mark his forites flies. The poor adjunct, makes friends of enemies. And hitherto doth lo on fortune tend. For who not needs, shall noyer lack a friend. And who in want a hollow friend doth try. Directly seasons him his enemy. But orderly to end, where I begun. Our wiles and fates do so contrary run. That our deuces still are our throne. Our thoughts are ours, their ends none of our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed. But die thy thoughts, when thy first lord is dead. Bap. Nor earth to gimme food, nor hoen light. Sport and repose lock from me day and night. Each opposite that blankies the face of ioe. Meet what I would haul well, and it destroy. Both here, and hence, pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, you or I be wife. Ham. If she should break it now. King. 'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, lo me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep. Chew. Sleep rock thy brain. Sleeps. And noyer come mischance between verses twain. Exit. Ham. Madam, how like you this play? Chew. The lady protests too much methinks. Ham. Oh, but she'll keep her word. King. Ha, you heard the argument, is there no offense? Int. Ham. No, no, they do but iest, poison in iest, no offense. Ith world. King. What do you call the play? Ham. The Mousetrap, Mary how? Tropically, this play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the duke's name, his wife Baptista, you shall see anon, 'tis a nage piece of work, but what o' that? Your Majesty, and we that ha free souls, it touches versus not, let the galled-eyed winch, our withers are wrung. Enter Lucianus. This is one Lucianus nephew to the king. Oaf. You are a good chorus, my lord. Ham. I could interpret between you and your lo, if I could see the puppets dallying. Oaf. You are keen, my lord, you are keen. Ham. It would cost you a groaning, to take off my edge. Oaf. Still better and worse. Ham. So you mistake husbands. Begin, murderer. Pox, lo thy damnable faces, and begin. Come, the croaking rawn doth bellow for revenge. Lucian. Thoughts black, hands apt. Drug is fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else, no creature seeing. Thou mixture ranca, of midnight weeds collected. With Hecat's ban, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic. And dire property. On wholesome life, serp immediately. Power as the poison in his ears. Ham. He poisons him ith garden force estate, his name's Gonzago, the story is extant and writ in choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the lieu of Gonzago's wife. Oath. The king rises. Ham. What, fright with false fire? Chew. How fares my lord? Paul Jeu re the play. King. Jew me some light. Away. All. Lights, lights, lights. Exeunt. Manet Hamlet and Horatio. Ham. Why let the strucken deer go weep? The heart from galled play. For some must watch, while some must sleep. So runs the world away. Would not this, sir, and a forest of feathers, if the rest of my fortunes turn Turk with me? With 2 provincial roses on my RAC shoes, get me a fellowship in a cree of players, sir. Whore, half a share. Ham. A whole one eye. For thou dost know, O Damon dear, this real me dismantled was of Ioue himself. And now reigns here a very very payock. Ora. You might ho-rimmed. Ham. O good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Didst pursue? Ora. Very well my lord. Ham. Upon the talk of the poisoning. Ora. I did very well note him. Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Ham. Oh, ha. Come some music. Come why recorders. For if the king like not the comedy, why then belike he likes it not purty. Come some music. Guild. Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you. Ham. Sir, a whole history. Guild. The king, sir. Ham. Ay sir, what of him? Guild. Is in his retirement, Meruellus distempered. Ham. With drink sir. Guild. No my lord, rather with choler. Ham. Your wise dome should shew itself more richer, to signify this to his doctor, for me to put him to his purgation, would perhaps plunge him into fare more choler. Guild. Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair. Ham. I am tame sir, pronounce. Guild. The queen your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you. Ham. You are welcome. Guild. Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment, if not, your pardon, and my return shall be the end of my business. Ham. Sir, I cannot. Guild. What, my lord? Ham. Make you a wholesome answer, my wit's diseased. But sir, such answers as I can make, you shall command, or rather you say, my mother, therefore no more but to the matter. My mother you say. Rosin. Then thus she says, your behoyer hath stroke her into amazement, and admiration. Ham. O wonderful son, that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? Rosin. She desires to speak with you in her closet. Ere you go to bed. Ham. We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Haw you any further trade with verses? Rosin. My lord, you once did lo me. Ham. So I do still, by these pickers and stealers. Rosin. Good my lord, what is your cause of distemper? You do freely bar the door of your own liberty, if you deny your griefs to your friend. Ham. Sir, I lack a advancement. Rosin. How can that be, when you haw the voice of the king himself, for your succession in Denmark? Ham. Aye, but while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Enter one with a recorder. Oh, the recorder. Let me see, to withdraw with you, why do you go about to recur the wind of me, as if you would dry you me into a toil? Gild. O my lord, if my duty be too bold, my lo is too mannerly. Ham. I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe? Gild. My lord, I cannot. Ham. I pray you. Gild. Below me, I cannot. Ham. I do beseech you. Gild. I know no touch of it, my lord. Ham. 'Tis as easy as lying, girn these ventages with your finger and thumb, drew it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most excellent music. Look you, these are the stops. Gild. But these cannot I command to any veterans of harmony, I ha not the skill. Ham. Why look you now, how worthy a thing you make of me, you would play upon me, you would see me to know my stops, you would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note, to the top of my compasse, and there is much music, excellent voice, in this little organ, yet cannot you make it. Why do you think, that I am easier to be played on, than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir. Enter Polonius. Poland. My lord, the queen would speak with you. And presently. Ham. Do you see that cloud? That's almost in shape. Like a camel. Poland. By th mass, and it's like a camel indeed. Ham. Methinks it is like a weasel. Poland. It is backed like a weasel. Ham. Or like a whale. Poland. Very like a whale. Ham. Then will I come to my mother, by and by. They fool me to the top of my bent. I will come by and by. Poland. I will say so. Enter. Ham. By and by, is easily said. Lo me friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night. When churchyards yawn, and hell itself breaths out. Contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood. And do such bitter business as the day. Would quake to look on. Soft now, to my mother. O heart, loose not thy nature, let not your. The soul of Nero, enter this fear may bosom. Let me be cruel, not natural. I will speak daggers to her, but vse none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my word summuer she be shent. To ju them seals, neuer my soul consent. Enter King, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern. King. I like him not, nor stands it safe with verses. To let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch. And he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate, may not endure. Hazard so dangerous as doth hourly grow. Out of his lunacies. Gild. We will our cellus provide. Most holy and religious fear it is. To keep those many bodies safe. That Leoa and feed upon your majesty. Rosin. The single. And peculiar life is bound. With all the strength and armor of the mind. To keep itself from annoyance, but much more. That spirit, upon whose spirit depends and rests. The lose of many, the cease of majesty. Dies not alone. But like a gulf doth draw. What's near it, with it? It is a massy wheel. Fixed on the somnet of the highest mount. To whose huge spokes, 10,000 lesser things. Are more teased and adioined, which when it phallus. Each small annexment, petty consequence. Attends the boisterous ruin. Neuer alone. Did the king sigh, but with a general groan. King. Arm you, I pray you to this speedy voyage. For we will fetters put upon this fear. Which now goes too free-footed. Both. We will haste versus. Exeunt. Gent. Enter Polonius. Pol. My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll connuy myself. To hear the process. I'll warrant she'll tax him home. And as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them party all, should rehear the speech of vantage. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know. King. Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offence is ranka, it smells to Hohen. It hath the primal eldest curse pont. A brother's murther. Pray can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin. And both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet Hohens to wash it white as snow? Whereto Ceru's mercy, but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer, but this twofold force? To be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down. Then I'll look VP. My fault is past. But oh, what for me of prayer? Can Ceru my turn? For je me my foule murther. That cannot be, since I am still possiest of those effects for which I did the murther. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned, and retain th offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offence's gilded hand may shew by Iestis. And oft, 'tis seen, the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling, there the action lies in his true nature, and we are celus compelled. Ewen to the teeth and forehead of our faults. To jure in uidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it, when one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom, black as death! O limed soul, that struggling to be free art more ingagged, help angels, make essay. Bow stub-born knees, and heart with strings of steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. Enter Hamlet. Ham. Now might I do it pat, now he is praying. And now I'll do't, and so he goes to Hohen. And so am I reewinged, that would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I his foule son, do this same villain send to Hohen. Oh, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as fresh as May. And how his audit stands, who knows, saw Hohen. But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis hoy with him, and am I then reewinged to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. VP sword, and know thou a more horrid hent. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in th incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salutation in't. Then trip him, that his heels may kicka at Hohen, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days. Enter. King. My words fly VP, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts, neuer to Hohen go. Enter. Enter Queen and Polonius. Pole. He will come straight. Luke, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks ha been too broad to bear with. And that your grace hath screened, and stood between much heat, and him. I'll silence me e'en here. Pray you be round with him. Ham. Within. Mother, mother, mother. Chew, I'll warrant you, fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming. Enter Hamlet. Ham. Now mother, what's the matter? Chew, Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended. Ham. Mother, you ha my father much offended. Chew. Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue. Ham. Go, go, you question with an idle tongue. Chew. Why how now Hamlet? Ham. What's the matter now? Chew, ha you forgot me. Ham. No by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. But would you were not so. You are my mother. Chew, nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak. Ham. Come, come, and sit you down, you shall not. Budge. You go not till I set you VP a glass. Where you may see the inmost part of you. Chew. What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murther me. Help, help, hoa. Pole. What hoa, help, help, help. Ham. How now, a rat? Dead for a ducate, dead. Paul. Oh I am slain. Kills Polonius. Chew. O me, what hast thou done? Ham. Nay I know not, is it the king? Chew. Oh what a rash, and bloody deed is this. Ham. A bloody deed, almost as bad good mother. As kill a king, and Marie with his brother. Chew. As kill a king. Ham. Ay lady, 'twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding full farewell. I took thee for thy betters, take thy fortune. Thou finds to be too bussy, is some danger. Low wringing of your hands, peace, sit you down. And let me wring your heart, for so I shall. If it be made of penetrable stuff. If damned custom ha not brased it so. That it is proof and bulwark against sense. Chew. What ha I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue? In noise so rude against me? Ham. Such an act. That blur as the grace and blush of mode's tie. Calories virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose. From the fair forehead of an innocent low. And makes a blister there. Makes marriage vows. As false as dicers' oaths. Oh such a deed. As from the body of contraction plucks. The very soul, and sweet religion makes. A rhapsody of words. Hohen's face doth glow. Yea this solidity and compound mass. With tristful visage as against the doom. Is thought sick at the act. Chew, I me, what act, that roars so loud, and thunders. In the index. Ham. Look here upon this picture, and on this. The counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on his brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Ioue himself. An eye like Mars, to threaten or command. A station. Like the herald Mercury. New lighted on a Hohen-kissing hill. A combination, and a for me indeed. Where Uri God did see me to set his seal. To Joe the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear. Blasting his wholesome breath. Ha you eyes. Could you on this fair mountain low to feed? And batten on this moor? Ha. Ha you eyes. You cannot call it low, for at your age. The heyday in the blood is tame, it's humble. And waits upon the iagement, and what iagement? Would step from this, to this? What diule was't? That thus hath coosend you at hoodman blind? O shame! Where is thy blush? Rebellious hell! If thou canst mutine in a matron's bones. To flaming youth, let virtue be as wax. And melt in her own fire. proclaim no shame. When the compulsio ardor jus the charge. Since frost itself, as actually doth burn. As reason panders will. Chew, O Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul. And there I see such black and grained spots. As will not low their tinct. Nay, but to Leoa. In the rank sweat of an enseamed bed. Stewed in corruption. Honeying and making low. O you earth and nasty sty. Chew. O speak to me, no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears. No more sweet Hamlet. A murderer, and a villain. A slaw, that is not 20th part the tithe. Of your precedent lord. A vice of kings. A cut purse of the empire and the rule. That from a shelf, the precious diadem stole. And put it in his pocket. Chew. No more. Enter ghost. A king of shreds and patches. Saw me, and hoar-o'er me with your wings. You humanly guards. What would your gracious figure? Chew, alas he's mad. Do you not come your tardy son to chide? That lapsed in time and passion, let's go by. Important acting of your dread command. Oh say. Ghost. Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But Luke, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her, and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her Hamlet. How is it with you lady? Chew, alas, how is't with you? That you bend your eye on vacancy. And with their corporal air do hold discourse. Forth at your eyes, your spirits wildly peep. And as the sleeping soldiers in alarm. Your bedded hair, like life in excrements. Start VP, and stand an end. O gentle son. Upon the heat and flame of thy distemper. Sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look? On him, look you how pale he glares. His for me and cause conioend, preaching to stones. Would make them capable. Do not look upon me. Least with this piteous action you connuert. My stern effects, then what I ha to do. Will want true color, tears perchance for blood. Chew. To who do you speak this? Do you see nothing there? Chew. Nothing at all, yet all that is I see. Nor did you nothing hear? Chew. No, nothing but our cellus. Why look you there, look how it steals away. My father in his habit, as he lewd. Look where he goes you and now out at the portal. Enter. Chew. This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in. Ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time. And makes as healthful music. It is not madness. That I ha vetered. Bring me to the test. And I the matter will reword, which madness would gambol from. Mother, for low of grace. Lay not a flattering venction to your soul. That not your trespasse, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and filme the vulcerous place. Whilst rank a corruption mining all within. Infects unseen. Confess yourself to Hohen. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come. And do not spread the compost on the weeds. To make them ranka. For show me this my virtue. For in the fatness of this pursy times. Virtue itself, of vice must pardon beg. Ye corb, and woe, for lo to do him good. Chew. O Hamlet. Thou hast cleft my heart in twain. Oh, throw away the worser part of it. And Leoa the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to mine Venkel's bed. Assume a virtue, if you haw it not, refrain tonight. And that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. Once more good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord, I do repent, but Hohen hath pleased it so, to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well. The death I gave him, so again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind. Chew. What shall I do? Ham. Not this by no means that I bid you do. Let the blunt king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse. And let him for a pair of reechy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to rowel all this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness, but made in craft. 'Twere good you let him know. For who that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a gib, such dear concernings hide, who would do so? No, in despite of sense and secrecy. Pega the basket on the house's top. Let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions in the basket, creep, and break your own neck down. Chew. Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I haw no life to breath. What thou hast said to me. Ham. I must to England, you know that. Chew, alack, I had forgot, 'tis so concluded on. Ham. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night. Indeed this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grower. Who was in life, a foolish prating gnaw. Come sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night mother. Exit Hamlet tugging in Polonius. Enter King. King. There's matters in these sighs, these profound hoes. You must translate, 'tis fit we understand them. Where is your son? Chew. Ah my good lord, what haw I seen tonight? King. What Gertrude? How do's Hamlet? Chew. Mad as the seas, and wind, when both contend. Which is the mightier, in his lawless fit? Behind the arras, hearing something stir, he whips his rapier out, and cries a rat, a rat. And in his brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man. King. Oh holy deed! It had been so with verses had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all. To you yourself, to verses, to you one. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to verses, whose providence should ha kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our low, we would not understand what was most fit. But like the owner of a foule disease, to keep it from divulging, lets it feed ewen on the pith of life. Where is he gone? Chew. To draw apart the body he hath kiled, or whom his very madness like some ore among a mineral of metals base shews itself pure. He weeps for what is done. King. O Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence, and this vilde deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance, and excuse. Enter Rose. And Gild. Ho Guildenstern. Friends both go Iowan you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother Clausets hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you hasten this. Exit gent. Come Gertrude, we'll call VP our wisest friends. To let them know both what we mean to do, and what's timely done. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay. Exeunt. Enter Hamlet. Safely stowed. Gentlemen within. Hamlet, Lord Hamlet. What noise? Who calories on Hamlet? Oh, here they come. Enter Rose. And Guildenstern. Row. What ha' you done, my lord, with the dead body? Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kinney. Rosin. Tell Versus where 'tis, that we may take it thence. And bear it to the chapel. Do not below it. Rosin. Below what? That I can keep your counsel, and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king? Rosin. Take you me for a sponge, my lord? Ay, sir, that soaks VP the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities, but such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape in the corner of his yaw, first mouth to be last swallowed. When he needs what you ha gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge you shall be dry again. Rosin. I understand you not, my lord. I am glad of it, a gnawish speech sleeps in a foolish ear. Rosin. My lord, you must tell Versus where the body is. And go with Versus to the king. The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing. Guild. A thing, my lord. Of nothing, bring me to him, hide fox, and all. After. Exeunt. Enter King. King. I ha sent to seek him, and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's lewd of the distracted multitude, who like not in their iagement, but their eyes. And where 'tis so, offender's scourge is weight. But nearer the offence, to bear all smooth, and ewen. This Sodain sending him away, must see me. Deliberate pause, diseases desperate groan. By desperate appliance are relued. Or not at all. Enter Rosin Crane. How now? What hath befallen? Rosin. Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord. We cannot get from him. King. But where is he? Rosin. Without, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure. King. Bring him before Versus. Rosin. Hoa, Guildenstern. Bring in my lord. Enter Hamlet and Guildenstern. King. Now Hamlet, where's Polonius? At supper. King. At supper. Where? Not where he eats, but where he is eaten, a certain connuication of worms are at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat Versus, and we fat ourself for magos. Your fat king, and your lean beggar is but variable service to dishes, but to one table that's the end. King. What dost thou mean by this? Nothing but to shew you how a king may go. A progress through the guts of a beggar. King. Where is Polonius? In Hoenn, send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him other place yourself, but indeed, if you find him not this moneth, you shall nose him as you go VP the stairs into the lobby. King. Go seek him there. He will stay till ye come. K. Hamlet, this deed of thine, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly gree you. For that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind at help. Th associates tend, and everything it bent. For England. Ham. For England. King. I Hamlet. Ham. Good. King. So is it, if thou knewst our purposes. Ham. I see a cherub that sees him, but come, for England. Farewell dear mother. King. Thy looing father Hamlet. Hamlet. My mother, father and mother is man and wife is one flesh, and so my mother. Come, for England. Exit. King. Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not, I'll haul him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done. That else leans on th affair, pray you make haste. And England, if my law thou hold'st at aught, as my great power thereof may do thee sense. Since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red. After the Danish sword, and thy free awe pays homage to verses. Thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters conyering to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it England. For like the hectic in my blood he rages. And thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done. Howe'er my haps, my eyes were any re-begun. Exit. Enter Fortinbras with an army. 4. Go captain, from me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license, Fortinbras claims the connivance of a promised march. O you ere his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with verses, we shall express our duty in his eye. And let him know so. Cap. I will do't, my lord. 4. Go safely on. Enter. Enter Queen and Horatio. Chew. I will not speak with her. Whore. She is importunate, indeed distract, her mood will needs be pitied. Chew. What would she haul? Whore. She speaks much of her father. Says she hears. There's tricks ith world, and hems, and beats her heart. Spurns annoyously at straws, speaks things in doubt. That carry but half sense, her speech is nothing. Yet the v-shaped vse of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it, and botch the words vp fit to their own thoughts, which as her winks, and nods, and gestures yield them, indeed would make one think there would be thought. Though nothing sure, yet much unhappily. Chew. 'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds. Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself, in fearing to be spilt. Enter Ophelia distracted. Oaf. Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? Chew. How now Ophelia? Oaf. How should I your true lo know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal show one. Chew. Alas sweet lady, what imports this song? Oaf. Say you? Nay pray you mark. He is dead and gone lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a gross green turf, at his heels a stone. Enter king. Chew. Nay but Ophelia. Oaf. Pray you mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow. Chew. Alas, look here my lord. Oaf. Larded with sweet flowers, which bewept to the ground did not go with true le chores. King. How do ye, pretty lady? Oaf. Well, God dild you. They say the old was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table. King. Conceit upon her father. Oath. Pray you let's ha no words of this, but when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is ain't Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime. And I made at your window, to be your Valentine. Then VP he rose, and donned his clothes, and ducked the chamber door. Let in the maid, that out a maid, noyer departed more. King. Pretty Ophelia. Oath. Indeed law. Without an oath I'll make an end ont. By G's, and by ain't. Charity. Alack, and fie for shame. Young men will do't, if they come to't. By cock they are to blame. Quoth she before you tumbled me. You promised me to wed. So would I ha done by yonder sun. And thou hadst not come to my bed. King. How long hath she been thus? Oath. I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep, to think they should lay him ith cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach, good night ladies, good night sweet ladies, good night, good night. Enter. King. Follow her close. Do her good watch I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief, it springs all from her father's death. Oh Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows comes, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain. Next your son gone, and he most violent author. Of his own highest remo, the people muddied. Thick and nolsome in their thoughts, and whispers. For good Polonius' death. And we ha done but greenly. In hugger mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia. Die whited from herself, and her fair iagement. Without the which we are pictures, or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these. Her brother is in secret come from France. Keeps on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds. And wants not buzzers to infect his ear. With pestilent speeches of his father's death. Wherein necessity of matter beggared. Will nothing stick our persons to arraign. In ear and ear. Oh my dear Gertrude, this. Like to a murdering piece in many places. Jus me superfluous death. A noise within. Enter a messenger. Chew, alack, what noise is this? King. Where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. What is the matter? Mess. Saw yourself, my lord. The ocean, O you ear peering of his list. Eats not the flats with more impetious haste. Then young Laertes, in a riotous head. O'erbears your officers, the rabble call him lord. And as the world were now but to begin. Antiquity forgot. Custom not known. The ratifiers and props of Ury word. They cry choose we. Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues, applaud it to the clouds. Laertes shall be king, Laertes king. Chew. How cheerfully on the false trail they cry. Oh, this is counter you false Danish dogs. Noise within. Enter Laertes. King. The doors are broke. Laer. Where is the king, sirs? Stand you all without. All. No, let's come in. Laer. I pray you do me low. Al. We will, we will. Laer. I thank you, keep the door. O thou vil the king, do me my father. Chew. Calmly good Laertes. Laer. That drop of blood, that calms. Proclaims me bastard. Cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot. You in here between the chaste and smirched brow. Of my true mother. King. What is the cause Laertes? That thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go Gertrude, do not fear our person. There such disunity doth hedge a king, that treason can but peep to what it would. Acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man. Laer. Where's my father? King. Dead. Chew. But not by him. King. Let him demand his fill. Laer. How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows, to the blackest duel. Conscience and grace, to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation, to this point I stand. That both the worlds I due to negligence. Let come what comes, onely I'll be reuned. Most truly for my father. King. Who shall stay you? Laer. My will, not all the world. And for my means, I'll husband them so well. They shall go far with little. King. Good Laertes. If you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, if writ in your revenge, that sweepstake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser. Laer. None but his enemies. King. Will you know them then? Law. To his good friends, thus wide I'll ope my arms. And like the kind life-rendering politician, repast them with my blood. King. Why now you speak like a good child, and a true gentleman, that I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as lull to your iagement pierce, as day dews to your eye. A noise within. Let her come in. Enter Ophelia. Laer. How now? What noise is that? O heat dry vp my brains, tears sometime salt. Burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By Hohen, thy madness shall be paid by weight, till our scale turns the beam. O Rose of May! Dear maid, kin sister, sweet Ophelia! O Hohens, is't possible, a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine and low, and where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it lose. Oath. They bore him bare fa seat on the bier. Hey non nunny, nunny, hey nunny. And on his brow rains many a tear. Fare you well, my dewy Laer. Hadst thou thy wits, and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus. Oath. You must sing down a down, and you call him a down a. Oh, how the wheel becomes it! It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter. Laer. This nothing's more than matter. Oath. There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray lo remember, and there is vacancies, that's for thoughts. Laer. A document in madness, thoughts and remembrance. Fitted. Oath. There's fennel for you, and columbines, there's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it herb grace a Sundays, oh you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy, I would jew you some violets, but they withered all when my father died, they say, he made a good end. For bonny sweet robin is all my ioe. Laer. Thought, and affliction, passion, hell itself. She turns to fawr, and to prettiness. Oath. And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead, go to thy deathbed. He noyer will come again. His beard as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we cast away moan. Gramercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God. God by ye. Exeunt. Ophelia. Laer. Do you see this, you gods? King. Laertes, I must common with your grief. Or you deny me right, go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will. And they shall hear and judge, twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find verses touched, we will our kingdom due. Our crown, our life, and all that we call ours. To you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to verses. And we shall iantly labor with your soul. To Jew it due content. Latter. Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure burial. No trophy, sword, nor hatchment o'er his bones. No noble right, nor from all ostentation. Cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth. That I must call in question. King. So you shall. And where offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you go with me. Exeunt. Enter Horatio, with an attendant. Ora. What are they that would speak with me? Sailors, sir, they say they haul letters for you. Whore. Let them come in. I do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet. Enter sailor. Say. God bless you, sir. Whore. Let him bless thee too. Say. He shall, sir, an't please him. There's a letter for you, sir, it comes from ambassadors that was bound for England, if your name be Horatio, as I am let to know it is. Reads the letter. Horatio, when thou shalt ha our look this, to these fellows some means to the king, they haul letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave versus chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sailly, we put on a compelled valor. In the grapple, I bored them, on the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They ha dealt with me, like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king ha the letters I ha sent, and repair thou to me with as much haste as thou wouldest fly death. I ha words to speak in your ear, will make thee dumb, yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, hold their course for England. Of them I ha much to tell thee, farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will do you way for these your letters, and do't the speedier, that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them. Enter. Enter King and Laertes. King. Now must your conscience my acquittance seal. And you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith you ha heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life. Latter. It well appears. But tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful, and so capital in nature, as by your safety, wise dome, all things else, you mainly were stirred vp. King. Oh, for 2 special reasons, which may to you, perhaps, see me much consigned. And yet to me they are strong. The queen his mother lose almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she's so conjuncture to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count I might not go, is the great low the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection, would like the spring that turneth wood to stone, conurate his joys to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbr'd for so loud a wind, would ho reurted to my bow again, and not where I had armed them. Latter. And so ha I a noble father lost, a sister Dryuin into desperate terms, who was, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age, for her perfections. But my revenge will come. King. Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff, so flat, and dull, that we can let our beard be shook with danger, and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I lewd your father, and we lure ourself. And that I hope will teach you to imagine. Enter a messenger. How now? What news? Mess. Letters my lord from Hamlet, this to your Majesty, this to the Queen. King. From Hamlet? Who brought them? Mess. Sailors my lord they say, I saw them not. They were due me by Claudio, he received them. King. Laertes you shall hear them. Lo versus. Exit messenger. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg low to see your kingly eyes. When I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount occasions of my sojourn, and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse? Or no such thing? Latter. Know you the hand? Kin. 'Tis Hamlet's character, naked and in a postscript. Here he says alone, can you aduse me? Latter. I'm lost in it my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart. That I shall Leoa and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou. Kin. If it be so Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise will you be rul by me? Latter. If so ul not roll me to a peace. Kin. To thine own peace, if he be now returned. As checking at his voyage, and that he means. No more to undertake it, I will work him. To an exploit now ripe in my dus. Vendor the which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death no wind of blame shall breath. But you and his mother shall then charge the practice. And call it accident, some 2 months hence. Here was a gentleman of Normandy. I seen myself, and serried against the French. And they ran well on horseback. But this gallant had witchcraft in't. He grew into his seat. And to such wondrous doing brought his horse. As had he been encorpsed and diminatured. With the brow beast, so far he passed my thought. That I in forgery of shapes and tricks. Come short of what he did. Latter. A Norman was't. Kin. A Norman. Latter. Upon my life Lamound. Kin. The very same. Latter. I know him well, he is the brooch indeed. An enemy of all our nation. Kin. He mad confession of you. And gave you such a masterly report. For art and exercise in your defense. And for your rapier most especial. That he cried out, would be a sight indeed. If one could match you sir. This report of his. Did Hamlet so envenom with his ennui. That he could nothing do but wish and beg. Your sojourn coming or to play with him. Now out of this. Latter. Why out of this, my lord? Kin. Laertes was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow? A face without a heart? Latter. Why ask you this? Kin. Not that I think you did not lure your father. But that I know lo is begun by time. And that I see in passages of proof. Time qualifies the spark and fire of it. Hamlet comes back, what would you undertake? To show yourself your father's son indeed. More than in words. Latter. To cut his throat ith church. Kin. No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should ha no bounds, but good Laertes. Will you do this, keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned, shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence. And set a double varnish on the fame. The Frenchmen gay you, bring you in fine together. And wager on your heads, he being remiss. Most generous, and free from all construing. Will not peruse the foils. So that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword baited, and in a passé of practice, requite him for your father. Latter. I will do't. And for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought invention of a mountebank. So mortal, I but dipped a knife in it. Where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare. Collected from all simples that ha virtue. Vender the moon can saw the thing from death. That is but scratched withal, I'll touch my point. With this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death. Kin. Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit verses to our shape, if this should fail. And that our drift luke through our bad performance. 'Twere better not assayed. Therefore this project should ha a back or second, that might hold. If this should blast and proof, soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your calmings. I hot, when in your motion you are hot and dry. As make your bouts more violent to the end. And that he calories for drink. I'll ha prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How sweet queen. Enter queen. Queen. One woe doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they'll follow, your sisters drowned Laertes. Latter. Drowned. Oh where? Queen. There is a willow grows aslant a brook, that shews his hoar lows in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. That liberal shepherds jewel a grosser name. But our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds, clambering to hang. An Aeneas slur broke, when down the weedy trophies, and herself fell in the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide. And mermaid-like, awhile they bore her VP. Which time she chaunted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress. Or like a creature nashu, and endued into that element, but long it could not be. Till that her garments, hoy with her drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious by to muddy death. Latter. Alas then, is she drowned? Queen. Drowned, drowned. Latter. Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. And therefore I forbid my tears, but yet it is our trick, nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu my lord. I ha a speech of fire, that fain would blaze. But that this folly doubts it. Enter. Kin. Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will do it start again. Therefore let's follow. Exeunt. Enter two clowns. Clown. Is she to be buried in Christian burial, that wilfully seeks her own salutation? Other. I tell thee she is, and therefore make her grow straight, the crowner hath sate on her, and finds it Christian burial. CLO. How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense? Other. Why, 'tis found so. CLO. It must be say offendendo, it cannot be else, for here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. It is an act to do and to perform, argal she drowned herself wittingly. Other. Nay, but hear you goodman Delure. Clown. Jimmy lo, here lies the water, good, here stands the man, good, if the man go to this water and drown himself, it is will he nil he goes, mark you that? But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death, shortens not his own life. Other. But is this law? CLO. I marry is't, crowner's quest law. Other. Will you ha the truth on't, if this had not been a gentlewoman, she should ha been buried out of Christian burial. CLO. Why there thou say'st. And the more pity that great folkie should ha countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves, more than their ewan Christian. Come, my spade, there is no ancient gentleman, but gardeners, ditchers and growmakers. They hold V.P. Adams' profession. Other. Was he a gentleman? CLO. He was the first that ewer bore arms. Other. Why he had none. CLO. What, art a heathen? How doth thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee, if thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself other. Go to. CLO. What is he that builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter? Other. The gallows maker, for that frame outlies a 1,000 tenants. CLO. I like thy wit well in good faith, the gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church, Argal, the gallows may do well to thee. To the gain, come. Other. Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright? Or a carpenter? CLO. Tell me that, and Nioke. Other. Marry, now I can tell. CLO. Toot. Other. Mass, I cannot tell. Enter Hamlet and Horatio afar off. CLO. Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull assy will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say a growmaker, the houses that he makes, lasts till doomsday. Go, get thee to Yogin, fetch me a stoup of liquor. Sings. In youth when I did loo, me thought it was very sweet. To contract the time for a my behow. Me thought there was nothing meet. Ham. Has this fellow no feeling of his business, that he sings at growmaking? Whore. Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness. Ham. 'Tis e'en so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. Clown sings. But age with his stealing steps hath caught me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land, as if I had noyer been such. Ham. That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once, how the gnaw owls it to th groaned, as if it were Cain's jawbone, that did the first murder. It might be the pate of a politician which this assy re-offices, one that could circumvent God. Might it not? Whore. It might, my lord. Ham. Or of a courtier, which could say, Good morrow sweet lord, how dost thou, good lord? This might be my lord such a one, that praised my lord such a one's horse, when he meant to beg it, might it not? Whore. My lord. Ham. Yen so, and now my lady worms, chapless, and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, if we had the trick to seat. Did these bones cost no more the breeding, but to play at log gets with them? Mine ache to think on't. Clown sings. A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shrouding sheet, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet. Ham. There's another, why might not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddits now? His quillets? His cases? His tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this rude gnaw now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shool, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in's time a great buyer of land, with his statutes, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recouries. Is this the fine of his fines, and the recourie of his recouries, to ha his fine pate full of fine dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures. The very conveyances of his lands will hardly lie in this box, and must the inheritor himself haw no more. Ha! Whore! Not a iota more, my lord. Ham! Is not parchment made of sheepskins? Whore! I my lord, and of cowskins too. Ham! They are sheep and cows that seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow, whose grow is this, sir? Clo. Mine, sir, oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet. Ham! I think it be thine indeed, for thou least in't. Clo. You lie out on't, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in't, and yet it is mine. Ham! Thou dost lie in't, to be in't and say, 'tis thine, 'tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest. Clo. 'Tis a quick lie, sir, 'twill away again from me. To you. Ham! What man dost thou dig it for? Clo. For no man, sir. Ham! What woman then? Clo. For none neither. Ham! Who is to be buried in't? Clo. One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul. She's dead. Ham! How absolute the law is. We must speak by the carda, or equivocation vulvendo versus, by the Lord Horatio. These 3 years I ha taken note of it, the age is grown so picked, that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heels of our courtier, he galls his kibe. How long hast thou been a growmaker? Clo. Of all the days ith year, I came to't that day that our last King Hamlet ori came Fortinbras. Ham! How long is that since? Clo. Cannot you tell that? You full can tell that. It was the very day, that young Hamlet was born, he. That was mad, and sent into England. Ham! I marry, why was he sent into England? Clo. Why, because he was mad, he shall recur his wits there. Or if he do not, it's no great matter there. Ham! Why? Clo. 'Twill not be seen in him, there the men are as mad as he. Ham! How came he mad? Clo. Very strangely they say. Ham! How strangely? Clo. Faith e'en with loosing his wits. Ham! Upon what ground? Clo. Why here in Denmark, I ha been 16. Here, man and boy 30 years. Ham! How long will a man lie ith earth ere he rot? Clo. I faith, if he be not rotten before he die, as we ha many pocky course nowadays, that will scarce hold the laying in, he will last you some 8 year, or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year. Ham! Why he, more than another? Clo. Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade, that he will keep out water a great while. And your water, is a sore decayer of your whoreson dead body. Here's a skull now, this skull, has lain in the earth 23 years. Ham! Whose was it? Clo. A whoreson mad fellow's it was. Whose do you think it was? Ham! Nay, I know not. Clo. A pestilence on him for a mad rogue, a poured a flagon of Rhenaish on my head once. This same skull. Sir, this same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's yester. Ham! This? Clo. E'en that. Ham! Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him Horatio, a fellow of infinite highest. Of most excellent fancy, he hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and how abhorred my imagination is, my gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips, that I ha kissed I know not how oft. Where be your ibes now? Your gambols? Your songs. Your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. No one now to mock your own eye earring. Quite chopfallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, to this fall or she must come. Make her laugh at that, prithee Horatio tell me one thing. Whore. What's that my lord? Ham. Dost thou think Alexander looked o' this fashion? Ith earth. Whore e'en so. Ham. And smelt so. Pooh. Whore e'en so, my lord. Ham. To what base vices we may return Horatio. Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander, till he find it stopping a bunghole? Whore, 'twere to consider, to curiously to consider so. Ham. No faith, not a iota. But to follow him thither. With modes tie enough, and likelihood to lead it, as thus. Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth. Into dust, the dust is earth. Of earth we make. Lo may, and why of that lo may, whereto he was converted. Might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperial Caesar, dead and turned to clay. Might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth, which kept the world in awe, should patch a wall, expel the winter's flaw. But soft, aside, here comes the king. Enter king, queen, Laertes, and a coffin, with lords attendant. The queen, the courtiers. Who is that they follow? And with such maimed rites? This doth betoken. The course they follow, did with disparate hand. For do it own life, 'twas some estate. Couch we a while, and mark. Latter. What ceremony else? Ham. That is Laertes, a very noble youth, mark. Latter. What ceremony else? Priest. Her obsequies ha been as fare inlarged. As we ha warranty, her death was doubtful. And but that great command, o resways the order. She should in ground and sanctified ha lodged. Till the last trumpet. For charitable prayer. Chardets, flints, and peebles, should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin rites. Her maiden struments, and the bringing home. Of bell and burial. Latter. Must there no more be done? Priest. No more be done. We should profane the sorrows of the dead. To sing sage requiem, and such rest to her. As to peace-parted souls. Latter. Lay her ith earth. And from her fair and polluted flesh. May violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest. A ministering angel shall my sister be. When thou least howling. Ham. What, the fair Ophelia? Queen. Sweets, to the sweet farewell. I hopped thou shouldst ha been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to ha decked, sweet maid. And not tea ha strewed thy groue. Latter. O terrible war. Fall 10 times treble, on that cursed head. Whose wicked deed, thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth awhile. Till I ha caught her once more in mine arms. Leaps in the groue. Now pile your dust, upon the quick, and dead. Till of this flat a mountain you ha made. To o'er top old Pelion, or the skyish head. Of blue Olympus. Ham. What is he, whose griefs bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conure the wandering stars, and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I. Hamlet the Dane. Latter. The duel take thy soul. Ham. Thou pray'st not well. I pry thee take thy fingers from my throat. Sir, though I am not spleneatious, and rash, yet ha I something in me dangerous, which let thy wiseness fear. Away thy hand. King. Pluck them asunder. Chew, Hamlet, Hamlet. General good my lord be quiet. Ham. Why I will fight with him upon this theme. Until my eyelids will no longer wag. Chew. O my son, what the aim? Ham. I lewd Ophelia, for 10,000 brothers. Could not, with all their quantity of lo. Make VP my summy. What wilt thou do for her? King. Oh he is mad Laertes. Chew. For lo of God forbear him. Ham. Come show me what thou wilt do. Woot weep. Woot fight. Woot tear thyself. Woot drink VP Ezile, eat a crocodile. I'll do't. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her growl? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on versus. Till our ground, singeing his pate against the burning zone, make Ossa like a wart. Nay, and thou lt mouth, I'll rant as well as thou. Kin. This is mere madness. And thus a while the fit will work on him. Anon as patient as the female dewy. When that her golden couplet are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping. Ham. Hear you sir. What is the reason that you vse me thus? I lewd you ewer, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will haw his day. Enter. Kin. I pray you good Horatio wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude set some watch o you your son. This growl shall haw a lewing monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be. Exeunt. Enter Hamlet and Horatio. Ham. So much for this sir, now let me see the other. You do remember all the circumstance. Hor, remember it my lord. Ham. Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting. That would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutines in the bilboes, rashly. And praise be rashness for it, let versus know. Our indiscretion sometimes serus versus well. When our dear plots do pall, and that should teach versus. There's a diunity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them how we will. Hor. That is most certain. Ham. VP from my cabin. My sea gown scarfed about me in the dark. Groped I to find out them. Had my desire. Fingered their packet, and in fine, withdrew. To mine own room again, making so bold. My fears forgetting manners, to conceal. Their grand commission, where I found Horatio. O royal Nowery, an exact command. Larded with many all sorts of reason. Importing Denmark's health, and England's too. With who, such bugs and goblins in my life. That on the superise no leisure baited. No not to stay the grinding of the axe. My head should be struck off. Hor, is't possible. Ham. Here's the commission, read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear me how I did proceed? Hor. I beseech you. Ham. Being thus benet round with villains. Ere I could make a prologue to my brains. They had begun the play. I sate me down. Doest a new commission, wrote it fair. I once did hold it as our statists do. A baseness to write fair. And labored much. How to forget that learning, but sir now. It did me yeoman serious, wilt thou know? The effects of what I wrote. Hor. I, good my lord. Ham. An earnest conioration from the king. As England was his faithful tributary. As low between them, as the palm should flourish. As peace should still her wheaten garland wear. And stand a comma, tween their amities. And many such like a cease of great charge. That on the view and know of these contents. Without debatement further, more or less. He should the bearers put to so dane death. Not shewing time allowed. Whore. How was this sealed? Ham. Why, Ewan and that was hoen ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse. Which was the model of that Danish seal. Folded the writ VP in for me of the other. Subscribed it, gout th impression, placked it safely. The changeling Neuer known, now, the next day. Was our sea fight. And what to this was sayment? Thou knowst already. Whore. So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, go toot. Ham. Why man, they did make lieu to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their debate doth by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous, when the baser nature comes between the passé, and fell incensed points of mighty opposites. Whore. Why, what a king is this? Ham. Does it not, think'st thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king, and whored my mother. Popped in between th election and my hopes. Thrown out his angle for my proper life. And with such cousinage. Is't not perfect conscience. To quit him with this arm. And is't not to be damned. To let this canker of our nature come. In further you'll. Whore. It must be shortly known to him from England. What is the issue of the business there? Ham. It will be short. The interim's mine, and a man's life's no more. Then to say one, but I am very sorry good Horatio. That to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause, I see the portraiture of his. I'll count his fours. But sure the browery of his grief did put me into a towering passion. Whore, peace, who comes here? Enter young Osric. OSR. Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark. Ham. I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly? Whore. No, my good lord. Ham. Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land, and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a chow, but as I saw spacious in the possession of dirt. OSR. Sweet lord, if your friendship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty. Ham. I will receive you it with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right vse, 'tis for the head. OSR. I thank your lordship, 'tis very hot. Ham. No, below me, 'tis very cold, the wind is northerly. OSR. It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed. Ham. Methinks it is very sultry, and hot for my complexion. OSR. Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere. I cannot tell how, but my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you, that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter. Ham. I beseech you remember. OSR. Nay, in good faith, for mine ease in good faith, sir, you are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is at his weapon. Ham. What's his weapon? OSR. Rapier and dagger. Ham. That's two of his weapons, but well. OSR. The Sir King has wagged with him 6 Barbary horses, against the which he imponed, as I take it, 6 French rapiers and poniards, with their assigns, as girdle, hangers or so. 3 of the carriages in faith are very dear to fancy. Very responsive to the hilts, most delicate carriages, and of very liberal conceit. Ham. What call you the carriages? OSR. The carriages, sir, are the hangers. Ham. The phrase would be more germane to the matter, if we could carry cannon by our sides, I would it might be hangers till then. But on 6 Barbary horses against 6 French swords, there are signs, and 3 liberal conceited carriages, that's the French but against the Danish, why is this impond as you call it? O.S.R. The king sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between you and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits, he hath 112 you for mine, and that would come to immediate trial, if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer. Ham. How if I answer a no? O.S.R. I mean my lord, the opposition of your person. In trial. Ham. Sir, I will walk here in the hall, if it please his majesty, 'tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose, I will win for him if I can, if not, I'll gain nothing but my shame, and the odd he hits. O.S.R. Shall I riddle you en so? Ham. To this effect sir, after what flourish your nature. Will. O.S.R. I commend my duty to your lordship. Ham. Yours, he does well to commend it. Himself, there are no tongues else for's tongue. Whore. This lapwing runs away with the shell on his head. Ham. He did comply with his dug before he sucked it, thus had he and mine more of the same beauty that I know the drossy age dotes on. Only got the tune of the time, an outward habit of encounter, a kind of yesty collection, which carries them through and through the most fond and winnowed opinions, and do but blow them to their trials, the bubbles are out. Whore. You will lose this wager, my lord. Ham. I do not think so, since he went into France, I ha been in continual practice, I shall win at the oddies, but thou wouldest not think how all hear about my heart, but it is no matter. Whore. Nay, good my lord. Ham. It is but foolery, but it is such a kind of gain-doing as would perhaps trouble a woman. Whore. If your men dislike anything, obey. I will forestall their repair hither, and say you are not fit. Ham. Not a whit, we defy augury, there's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come, if it be not to come, it will be now, if it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no man has aught of what he loes. What is to loe betimes? Enter king, queen, laertes and lords, with other attendants with foils, and gauntlets, a table and flagons of wine on it. Kin. Come Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me. Ham. Do me your pardon sir, I done you wrong. But pardoned as you are a gentleman. This presence knows. And you must needs ha heard how I am punished. With sore distraction. What I ha done. That might your nature honor, an exception. Roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wronged Laertes? Neuer Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away. And when he's not himself, does wrong Laertes. Then Hamlet does it not, Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness? If't be so. Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience. Let my disclaiming from a purposed you'll free me so far in your most generous thoughts. That I ha shot mine arrow o'er the house. And hurt my mother. Latter. I am satisfied in nature. Whose motive in this case should stir me most. To my revenge. But in my terms of honor. I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement. Till by some elder masters of known honor. I ha a voice, and president of peace. To keep my name engorged. But till that time. I do receive your offered lo like lo. And will not wrong it. Ham. I do embrace it freely. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Jew versus the foils, come on. Latter. Come one for me. Ham. I'll be your foil Laertes, in mine ignorance. Your skill shall like a star ith darkest night stick fiery off indeed. Laer. You mock me, sir. Ham. No, by this hand. King. Juthem the foils young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager. Ham. Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the oddies ath weaker side. King. I do not fear it. I ha seen you both. But since he is bettered, we ha therefore oddies. Laer. This is too hoey. Let me see another. Ham. This likes me well. These foils ha all a length. Prepare to play. Osric. I, my good lord. King. Set me the stopes of wine upon that table. If Hamlet ju the first, or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup and nyan shall he throw. Richer than that, which four successive kings in Denmark's crown ha wern. Ju me the cups. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak. The trumpet to the cannoneer without. The cannons to the hoen to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you the judges bear a wary eye. Ham. Come on, sir. Laer. Come on, sir. They play. Ham. 1. Laer. No. Ham. Iagement. OSR. A hit, a very palpable hit. Laer. Well, again. King. Stay, Jimmy drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Jew him the cup. Trumpet sound, and shot goes off. Ham. I'll play this bout first, set by a while. Come, another hit, what say you? Laer. A touch, I do confess. King. Our son shall win. Chew. He's fat, and scant of breath. Here's a napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet. Ham. Good madam. King. Gertrude, do not drink. Chew. I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me. King. It is the poisoned cup, it is too late. Ham. I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by. Chew. Come, let me wipe thy face. Laer. My lord, I'll hit him now. King. I do not think't. Laer. And yet 'tis almost 'gainst my conscience. Ham. Come for the third. Laertes, you but dally. I pray you passe with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me. Laer. Say you so? Come on. Play. OSR. Nothing neither way. Laer. Haw at you now. In scuffling they change rapiers. King. Part them, they are incensed. Ham. Nay, come, again. OSR. Luke to the queen their hoa. Whore. They bleed on both sides. How is my lord? OSR. How is Laertes? Laer. Why as a woodcock? To mine springe, Osric. I am iously killed with mine own treachery. Ham. How does the queen? King. She sounds to see them bleed. Chew. No, no, the drink, the drink. Oh my dear Hamlet, the drink, the drink. I am poisoned. Ham. Oh villainy. How? Let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out. Laer. It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee, there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand. Baited and envenomed, the foulée practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie. Ne'er to rise again, thy mother's poisoned. I can no more, the king's to blame. Ham. The point envenomed too. Then venom to thy work. Hurts the king. All. Treason, treason. King. Oh yet defend me friends, I am but hurt. Ham. Hear thou incestuous, murderous. Damned Dane. Drink off this potion, is thy Nyan here? Follow my mother. King dies. Ladder. He is iously serud. It is a poison temperate by himself. Exchange for Giannis with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee. Nor thine on me. Dies. Ham. Ho and make thee free of it, I follow thee. I am dead Horatio, wretched queen adieu. You that look pale, and tremble at this chance. That are but mutes or audience to this act. Had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh I could tell you. But let it be, Horatio, I am dead. Thou loosed, report me and my cause is right. To the unsatisfied. Hor, Neuer beluit. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left. Ham. As art a man, gimme me the cup. Let go, by Hohen Isle hot. O good Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus known, shall Leoa behind me. If thou didst ewer hold me in thy heart. Absent thee from felicity a while. And in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain. To tell my story. March afar off, and shout within. What warlike noise is this? Enter Osric. OSR. Jong Fortinbras, with conquest come fro, Poland. To ambassadors of England jus this warlike volley. Ham. Oh I die Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ercrows my spirit. I cannot Leoa to hear the news from England. But I do prophesy election lights. On Fortinbras, he has my dying voice. So tell him with the occurrence more and less. Which ha solicited. The rest is silence. Oh, 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 oh. Dies. Ora. Now crack a noble heart. Good night sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither? Enter Fortinbras an English ambassador, with drum, colours. And attendants. Fortin. Where is this sight? Whore. What is it ye would see? If aught of woe, or wonder, cease your search. 4. His quarry cries on hawk. O proud death! What feast is toward in thine eternal cell? That thou so many princes, at a shoot, so bloodily hast strook. AMB. The sight is dismal. And our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless that should Jew verses hearing. To tell him his commandment is fulfilled. That Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we haw our thanks? Whore. Not from his mouth. Had it ability of life to thank you. He ne'er gave commandment for their death. But since so yump upon this bloody question. You from the Polake wars, and you from England. Are here ariud. Joe order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view. And let me speak to yet knowing world. How these things came about. So shall you hear. Of carnal, bloody, and natural acts. Of accident all iagements, casual slaughters. Of deaths put on by cunning, and forked cause. And in this vepshot, purposes mistook. Fall'n on the innuentor's head. All this can I truly delayure. 4. Let verses has to hear it. And call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. I ha some rights of memory in this kingdom, which are to claim, my vantage doth inuite me. Whore. Of that I shall ha always cause to speak. And from his mouth, whose voice will draw on more. But let this same be presently performed. Ewan whiles men's mindies are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen. 4. Let foor captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage. For he was likely, had he been put on, to ha proud most royally. And for his passage, the soldier's music, and the rights of war, speak loudly for him. Take VP the body. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shews much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot. Exeunt. Marching, after the which, a peal of ordnance are shot off. Finis. The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark.